What the? got to stand up strong. Ain't the truth about themselves to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Good morning. Welcome to the show. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773. 888-77 Jesse. 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 We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on jesseleepeterson.com/show. jesseleepeterson.com/show. And if you're out and about today, I know a lot of you are stuck in the airports around the country and around the world probably. Not sure about around the world, but in America for sure. And your flight's delayed, the planes, no workers, all kind of mess. But whatever you're doing, working out, making breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you can watch the show by calling the listen line. By calling the listen line on TalkStream Live at 641-793-1500. That's 641-793-1500. And don't forget to follow, subscribe, like, ring the bell, and follow us on rumble.com/Jesse Lee Peterson and cozy.tv/JLP Talk. No, yeah, JLP Talk. JLP. Cozy.tv/JLP. Not JLP Talk, but JLP. All right? Amazing. So it is White History Month. It's White History Month, but we're starting off slow because we didn't get the shirts in time. And none of us have on the new shirts, and it just, we're doing it like kind of the black way. We're behind on everything. And so as soon as we get the shirts, it will become a major celebration. But happy White History Month, folks. Sorry about the delay in the shirts thing. We only knew a year ago that we're going to be celebrating in July. What the? So happy White History Month. July is White History. And we're celebrating all month. We're just slow on doing it because we didn't get the materials. All right. If you were not at fellowship yesterday, if you were not in fellowship, you missed it. Except if you were watching it online. Maybe, bless you. What the? Maybe you were watching it online. And it was for those who are truly seeking to overcome and are on that straight and narrow path and literally will stay there. No matter what situation happens, because the more you stay with truth within, the more you can see. And the more you see, the more you understand. The more you understand, the freer you become. Really, it's amazing. So if you did miss it for whatever reason, stuck traveling or whatever, I know a lot of people traveling. Happy 4th of July. And you can podcast the church from yesterday or any other day. We dealt with the... we also dealt with last week biblical question. What are you committed to? What are... Shift just a little bit to the... I wonder how come her saying you see one thing in here and Hake see it differently out there. How's that? To the right or to the left? Oh, okay. Anyway, they're showing me how to the camera thing. So we kept. What are you committed to? And as I said yesterday in the fellowship, I don't know what I call it committed to anymore. But I enjoy working on myself, overcoming the fallen state. It's amazing to do that. And I almost don't want to use the word committed because it's natural now. I stay with the silent prayer because I see that it works. It allows you to be aware of the not you. So if you want to call that committed, I am committed to that. But it's so joyful, it's so peaceful, I can't imagine not doing it. All right. Brand new biblical question. Why do so many people commit suicide? Why do so many people commit suicide? Everybody and their mama. If you're black, everybody and their mama. If you're white, everybody and their mama commit suicide today. Why? 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 Why do so many people, I'll read a note. Why do so many people commit suicide? Amazing, huh? Why do so many people commit suicide? That's the brand new biblical question. I want to talk to you with my experts about this whole, and I mentioned it yesterday in fellowship, that the decision that the U.S. Supreme Court made of late. And they seem to have been decisions that I believe would make America great again. Good for the country. I believe so. But I wanted to, just to make sure, I'd like to get my experts and your opinion about some of the decisions that the U.S. Supreme Court has made. They've been amazing decisions. So when I get all my experts in, I'll play this soundbite and hear from them. CNN is reporting that conservatives are on a roll in their quest to remake America through the courts. The trajectory of the court on gun control, race, business, regulation, climate, and other issues is firmly to the right. Watch this compilation.
In a 6-3 decision, the justices ruled that Harvard University and the University of North Carolina violated the Constitution.
The court cements a superficial rule of colorblindness as a constitutional principle in an endemically segregated society, where race has always mattered and continues to matter. With let them eat cake obliviousness, the majority pulls the ripcord and announces colorblindness for all by legal fiat. Justice Jackson uses her broad observations about statistical relationships between race and select measures of health, wealth, and well-being to label all blacks as victims.
But it allowed generations of students like Michelle and me to prove we belong.
Race, which is such an encompassing part of at least my identity as an underrepresented minority, it makes me feel upset.
Where if you take race out of the equation in any way, shape, or form, it is very hard to reach these goals of diversity that colleges, either private or public, have set for themselves.
And this is a Supreme Court that's looking to create that apartheid reality because of a level of white privilege.
This is tantamount to sticking a dagger in our back.
What I propose for consideration is a new standard, where colleges take into account the adversity a student has overcome when selecting among qualified applicants. As I said, more women, more minorities. That's what they got to do. This is not a normal goal.
The court just ruled that the Biden administration's student loan forgiveness plan is unconstitutional.
$400 billion, the estimated cost of this debt loan forgiveness.
Is one of the biggest borrowers, the biggest holders of student debt are black women. And black women voted overwhelmingly for President Biden. This was one of the things he wanted to do for his constituents, for these people who helped get him in office. So as we heard from the White House, the fight isn't over yet.
The owner of a Colorado web design company who did not want to create wedding websites for same-sex couples, and the court has held that that website designer does not have to.
Any business owner could really say, I don't want to provide services to black people or black couples or Jews or people in interracial marriages.
The justices ruled unanimously in favor of an evangelical Christian postal worker who argued the U.S. Postal Service didn't do enough to accommodate his request to not work on Sundays.
America, it's why people want to come to America. It's why my forefathers came to America. It's a place of freedom, a place of protection.
Amazing. That's amazing. So I wanted to hear from my experts about the affirmative action, the making the dumb kids pay their own college tuition, pay back the money they borrowed, and the gay website make thing like a gay cake, and whatever else they did. So I have with me Hake of the Hake Report, Monday through Friday, from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific Time, 9 to noon Eastern Time, heard around the world by everybody and their mama, and one of the experts here under Jesse Peterson, my producer Sean, and an expert here doing a great job, by the way, the Jesse Peterson. And then the anchor baby coming in a minute here. He's taking care of the phones right now. And an expert, also the host of the American Anchor Baby Show, Monday through Friday at 12 noon, and Fridays at 4 because he fly airplane at 4 Pacific Time, and an expert here on the show. And last but not least, Hassan, the audio engineer, very talented, and one of the experts on the Jesse Peterson show here. I want to get into, I'll start with you first, Hake. What do you think about the court's decision making and the responses about the affirmative action, the gay website, the man that doesn't want to work on Sundays at the post office? And
I didn't catch that one. I must have zoned out. Man,
yeah, there was a man who...
I'm not being very white in White History Month.
Evidently. There was a man who... And speaking of white history, if you notice, well, none of us have a white history shirt. So it doesn't look like white history is happening today.
I don't want to look like everybody else.
Well, I wore an all-white T-shirt just to be close.
But it looks a little wrinkled from here.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not 100% white.
That's right.
I got my white sweatshirt with little tiny spots of black all over it. I think
Well, they tried to make up some kind of way. But what it is, though we've been knowing all year that White History Month was coming in July, we waited until the last minute to prep for it. And so that's why we don't have our shirts. Amazing, huh?
Yeah.
Forgive us, we black.
So what was happening? The post office guy doesn't
So a
want to work
post
on
office guy that, due to religious reasons, he didn't want to work on Sunday, so he took it to the U.S. Supreme Court, right?
Mm-hmm. I didn't know the post office worked on Sunday.
I guess they don't deliver, but they still do work inside.
Oh.
Or maybe
He might have been an Amazon delivery.
He might have
Amazon delivery.
Oh, that's what it was? You don't know for sure?
I don't know for sure, but that might have been. Might have been
that
the
makes
case.
more sense.
I think, though they don't deliver mail on the weekend, on Sundays, you still have the workers delivering mail to the truck drivers delivering mail to the stations together. They have these big, because I know somebody that used to drive those big trucks to take the mail to different post offices. And
well, for sure, UPS and Amazon and some of those work on They do work on Sundays.
But Amazon is not post office.
I know. But
anyway,
kind of better than the post office.
So what do you think about the court's decision making and the reaction from the left?
I think it's ridiculous that they freak out like this, because this is not even that conservative of decisions. They're like just in the direction of what's right, and they just freak out like crazy, like as if we're so based, but we're but we're not.
All right.
For example, the affirmative action thing. They can still complain that they've suffered this imaginary racism thing. They can still say, oh, according to what I heard, that the main guy, the Chief Justice, John Roberts, said that they can talk about how race was a factor in their life or something like that, how race affected them. And they can consider that. And that's what Biden jumped on.
When you said the people that want to
the wannabe
get
students
into the school without having to earn it.
Yeah, the wannabe students and the people who want to accept them.
And they can talk about how pitiful they are and how dumb they are, so they still need to get in.
And how they profiled the whites as being racist towards them. Made assumptions that the whites were being racist.
No, anyone can say that then.
Yeah. So, and the Obama-Biden administration already planned for that. Like they said, oh, adversity in your life. And it was interesting that gal said that she was a underrepresented minority or something like that. And she feels very upset.
That little black gal?
Yeah.
Tanisha?
And whatever she was.
On the court?
No, I'm not talking about on the court.
Girl.
The one who was being interviewed, yeah.
Yeah. Amazing.
So... But I like that it seems just basic common sense that you should be able to refuse service for any reason with regard to the not baking a fake wedding cake.
No, it was about they want a gay website.
Building a fake
if they
gay
went to
website.
A non-gay person and say, I want a website, they don't want you to have the right to say, no, I don't build those.
Yeah.
And so the court said you do have the right.
So-called same-sex wedding. Which normal people don't even really believe in that.
Right. It reminded me of when the blacks were protesting during the Martin Luther King situation.
Yeah.
Which was the worst time in our life in America. But how the blacks were getting upset that the whites didn't want them in their private restaurant or whatever. Right. I'm like, they have a right not to want to. They built the business. Don't they have a right?
Yeah.
And not like it's a government business.
Yep. Why would you want to go to such a place?
Yeah.
Unless you're just mad and trying to force people, impose on them.
Spit in their food. And then they'll complain that the whites spit in their food. What a mess.
I think the blacks are the ones spitting in the food more per capita.
So, Sean, what do you think about the decision of the court?
Well, what you were just talking about, I'll tell you in a second, but what you were just talking about reminds me of Trump. I'm pretty sure, I might be getting some of the details wrong, but in his 20s, he owned like an apartment complex in New Jersey, and he got accused of racially segregating his applications and only picking the white people.
Yeah.
And he went to court and he pretty much said, I can run my business however I want to run my business.
Yeah.
You can't tell me what applications to pick and what I can't pick. You could call me racist, whatever. And but anyway, I think my favorite part of that clip was when the lady pretty much came out and admitted that, black women are the highest holders of student loans, and he wants to give these people who gave him so much something back. It's buying votes.
Yeah.
That's why he wanted it so bad. It's because he knows he's just giving people cash for votes.
Yeah, it's amazing to me that these people make these decisions for whatever reason, that college is the way to go.
Right.
And they know that it costs an arm and a leg and a short thigh.
Right.
And then and they make the decision they want to go rather than getting a job and working their way through whatever school. They want you, they want me, they want the taxpayer, people who don't even think college is worth it anyway, to pay for their loan.
Yep.
You got to be black to think that way.
Yep. And the courts are ruling it's pretty much male and female. Barrett is the only female that it's like 6-3 majority conservative decisions in a lot of these decisions, and it's pretty much exactly male versus female on the court.
This is why men got to take back the country.
Right. It's like Gorsuch, Thomas, Alito, Roberts, Kavanaugh, and then Barrett is the only female that sometimes leans more conservative. But then you have the three other females, Kagan, Sotomayor, and who's the third one?
Onika Jackson.
Oh yeah, Jackson.
Onika.
That woman that got it simply because she's black.
Yeah.
She didn't have to know anything at all.
The Obama-Biden nominees.
Yeah.
And she's the one out there saying, no, we have to take into consideration race. We have, how could we not?
The interesting thing is that the blacks don't see when they say stuff like that. They're telling the world they're dumb. We are dumb. We need affirmative action. We can't get into these white schools. These white people are too smart. They're smarter than we are. Now, we can get into a dumb black university, but we cannot get into the white school. So please, let us in. We are not capable. They don't see they're saying that out loud.
Nope.
A mess. What do you think about the post office worker that wanted to be able to take off on Sundays?
I mean, you saw him at the end. That was the actual guy at the end who was talking about America as a place of protection and religious freedom. I should know more about the details of that actual case, but if it's a conservative win, then it's great. Right. I do think in a lot of religious practices, these like day of the week rules,
right?
Nothing on Saturday, it has to happen on Sunday. Sometimes are a little, silly.
I remember growing up when Saturday and Sunday were shut down.
Yeah.
It'd be like the Jews. We didn't have to go to work. We just went to work Monday through Friday, unless an emergency situation was something that would need to be done. But Sunday, everything shut down. Even the liquor store shut down at a certain time.
Mm-hmm.
So I do remember those good old days. And American functioned just well.
You're right. Fine. It was the U.S. Postal Service, the USPS, Post Office. And he was indeed a Christian. Gerald Groff, per NPR.
Evangelical Christian, right?
I think so.
That sounds so serious.
I just said I think so. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, blue laws, they're called.
When you say evangelical, it just sounds so serious. No wonder they had to shut it down.
Blue laws are also known as Sunday laws, Sunday trade laws, or Sunday closing laws.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yep.
Nick, did you see the compilation there? I know you're out answering the phone.
I missed some of it, but I heard it, and I heard you guys talking about it.
Let's do it over so you can see it.
You want me to see that compilation?
So
I saw like a good bit of it.
Enough to comment on it?
I think so.
Oh, okay. What did you think?
Well, the experts here, they got it. Trying to get on camera here, sorry. The experts here, they got the commentary. You guys pretty much said it. But one thing I found interesting is I saw people like Joy Reid and stuff say, I got into Harvard only because of affirmative action, or other people saying I only got here because of affirmative action. And then the conservatives, they're like, aren't you embarrassed to admit that? You should be embarrassed to admit that. But I found it funny how they don't see it that way.
Yeah.
They don't see it that way. Like, and we have the same language that we accuse each other of. Like, you're fake and you're fake. And it's funny how people like Joy Reid, they're like, they don't feel any embarrassment about it. And I think it's because, you know, they really choose to see as affirmative action as a way to, I don't know, elevate their kind of thinking, which is hateful and particularly anti-white.
Because anyone that's into affirmative action thinking is not, their thinking is not elevated, it's lowered. It's degraded rather than progressing up.
But I think they know, you say they're putting all the wrong people in the right places.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you think they're doing it?
I know.
It's affirmative action.
You reminded me of, I went to a graduation over at, over in Philly, in Newark, New Jersey at, what's that school over there? Big time school, university, in Philly. I mean, New Jersey.
Cambridge.
What?
No.
You said Cambridge.
That's wrong.
No, this was in New Jersey.
I should know. I'm from Jersey.
It's a major university over there.
Oh.
Rutgers?
No.
Essex?
Oh, yeah, right.
Princeton?
Yeah, Princeton.
That's in Princeton. That's not in Newark, right? Isn't Princeton in
It's
Princeton?
in New Jersey.
Princeton, New Jersey.
I said New Jersey.
You said Newark. You
Well,
threw me off with Newark.
Somewhere over there.
Anyway.
But anyway, I went over there to a graduation, and these blacks were graduating, right? And they were all happy. And somehow or another, I ended up with a discussion with a lot of them. And I said to them, you guys didn't earn that. You didn't earn it. You got that because of affirmative action. They're like, no, I didn't. And then they were, on one hand, they were for affirmative action, but when you remind them that they didn't earn it only because they're black, then they get upset that you say that. But yet they are for affirmative action. They want to deny that they got there because of being black, because of affirmative action, but yet that's why they got there.
Mm.
And so we had this at the graduation. They were all happy, like, y'all ain't earned that. How am I supposed to believe you earned it when you're for affirmative action?
There's story after story of people complaining. I think they like that setup so that they can complain. That they get profiled. You never know if I got in because of affirmative action, and everybody thinks I got in just because of affirmative action. They're racist. I think they want that setup so they can complain.
Affirmative reaction. Am I right?
I know. What a mess. Go ahead, Nick.
No.
How about the postal worker?
You know, that's the part I missed. I missed the postal worker that you guys are talking about. I'm not sure actually what you
Oh, okay. How about the gay website making thing? If you are being a Christian and don't want to do a gay website, they say you have the right not to.
Right. Didn't they allow us to discriminate? A right that we always had to discriminate?
That's like a God-given right.
Yep.
I don't need no man or no one to tell me who I can and cannot, what I can and cannot do in my own company. You know, I got up every day and went to the fields and picked 100 pounds of cotton, and then I decided that I want to make a business from that 100 pounds of cotton. And somebody will come in and tell me what I got to do with it.
No, you don't understand. The government tells you who you're supposed to love. Mm-hmm. You have to love.
Yep.
You're forced to. Because that's how love works, right?
Okay.
So what?
I forgot who said this. It might have been Thomas Sowell, but he talks about someone talks about healthy discrimination. Like if you're a taxi cab driver and you don't go to a certain area of Harlem because you know that there's a high percentage of carjackings and taxi cabs getting robbed, you're not going there because it's 90% black people. You're not going there because it's 90% black people who live there. You're not going there to protect your life.
Yeah.
This healthy discrimination.
Amazing. Let me take a quick break. 888-775-3773. Then we'll come back and hear from Hassan, the other expert. Back in a moment. I have books that are amazing. I highly recommend you get them. 7 Guaranteed Steps to Spiritual, Family, and Financial Success Guide. Even if you're not starting a business, but you have a job, or you're on welfare, it can help you if you do. Be doers of the word, all right? From rage to responsibility. From rage. That's what I write about in the first chapter, especially how I overcame. Scam. How the black leadership exploits black Americans. They're using them, and blacks are too willing to be used. And then my last book, The Antidote, Healing America from the Poison of Hate, Blame, and Victimhood. They are all amazing books, and they are helpful. Go to rebuildingtheman.com if you want an autographed copy, or call 800-411-2663. All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. The Hake Report is coming up at 9 a.m. this morning. TheHakeReport.com from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. And at 12 noon today, The American Anchor Baby from at 12 p.m. Pacific time. The American Anchor Baby, did you go for 7 hours on Friday?
Yeah.
You went
it was
for
a 7-hour White History Month marathon, day one.
So what now?
It was a 7-hour day one White History Month marathon.
Nice. 7 hour on Friday because when you play
On Saturday. Friday I did a show as well.
Oh, this was on Saturday?
Correct.
What? Fridays at 4 p.m. and sometimes Saturdays, as you hear. All right, the Anchor Baby. We're talking about the course decisions with affirmative action for these colleges. Thank God it's gone now for now, but they're still going to find a way to get around it, believe me, because they want the votes, and they need the blacks to stay on the plantation of the Democratic Party. So my experts are here, and before I get to your call, I want to go to Hassan. Hassan, what do you think about the court's decision about affirmative action, the website, the post office, and all those good things?
Well, I definitely loved that it all happened at one time and drove the liberals and the internet and Instagram into a frenzy. That was fun. Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting. I think that, like, I saw a lot of things being posted by a lot of black people that I know about specifically Clarence Thomas. And it's just funny that people will post things like, oh, well, he was a recipient of affirmative action and wants to be against it. But even if you want to be on the side of affirmative action was a good thing, even if you want to have that argument, it doesn't mean that it needs to always stay. It could have been for a time period or whatever. And I'm not saying that that's what it is. I'm just saying that, like, to use that argument against Clarence Thomas is just, like, silly to say, like, oh, well, you know, now it can't be, you know, changed or altered, you know?
But Clarence Thomas didn't get in there because of affirmative action. Affirmative action was already there, and he happened to be one of the smart blacks from the old school. He earned his way, but because of affirmative action, it looked like he couldn't do it either because he was black.
Recipient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's not like he got there based on affirmative action.
No, I agree. I mean, and I knew I was going to say that word wrong, Hake. No, I
What did
agree.
he say?
He said recipient.
And what did he say?
Recipient.
Whatever.
That from Blade Runner or something?
Exactly. But anyway,
I literally had to look it up because that pronunciation threw me off. Is it recipient?
He's
anyway,
black.
Nice.
yeah, I'm just saying that
He was out when he went to a white school with Joel, and they were outside smoking pot.
He's never smoked pot in his life.
Who wasn't?
True.
Hassan.
Nice, Hake.
Yeah.
Who never smoked pot?
Standing up for me
Hassan
against
never
the
did.
chat. The chat thinks I'm always high on pot.
Hassan never smoked pot before?
Ever.
How do you know that?
He said it. And I
Really?
believe it. And that settles it.
There it is.
You never smoked pot before, Hassan?
It's true.
Well, why you ain't got no sense?
I know, right? Might as well have.
I disavow.
Anyway.
That's why.
But yeah, so I just thought it was interesting that that's kind of what the uproar's been. And yeah, I like it. I'm glad that it all happened at one time, and it's nice.
Yeah.
I was about to butt in.
Yeah. All you guys should just jump in now.
One of your former guests, Mike Cernovich, put out the information that Thomas regularly gets the wonky, meaning high intellectual, knowledgeable, complicated cases handed to him. Because sometimes individual justices on the Supreme Court decide cases by themselves. And he gets they all go to him because he's the only one that understands some of this stuff.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's a dummy that just got affirmative action. He's the smartest one on the court in some ways.
It's interesting to see the blacks. They want to include Justice Clarence Thomas when it's about being dumb.
Right.
Like the affirmative action. But if it's smart, hard-working stuff, they don't want him to. They just disavow him.
Yep.
That's
They
crazy.
disown him. Terrible. We're still going to have, because the culture is so corrupt, we have Sleepy Joe's ilk. We're still going to have, like you said, de facto affirmative action, even if it's not de jure.
Yeah. Especially with the election coming on, because they definitely got to keep the blacks on the Democratic plantation. And so they're going to have to at least act as though they fought for this.
Yep.
We tried to help y'all blacks. Don't leave the plantation.
Yeah, there was this professor who I just saw this video, and he was saying, "Yeah, I'm going to do affirmative action anyways." And he was this like liberal professor. He's saying, and he was being filmed. I don't think he knew he was being filmed because he said, "If I'm ever deposed and someone asked me, I never said this." Like he knew what he was doing.
Was that in California? Because California, it's supposedly illegal. Did you know that?
Right.
To do affirmative action?
Yeah, and the UC system, I think.
I
Something
know.
like that.
I know that.
I thought it was.
I knew.
Yeah.
I knew they had taken away, but I thought they brought it back, and then it took away, and then they brought it back.
By hook or by
Because
crook?
I remember UCLA when they took it away. Before they took it away, a whole lot of blacks were going to UCLA.
Yeah.
They were just letting them in, and then they took away affirmative action, and the number of blacks went way down because they couldn't pass the test.
Black and brown. Yeah.
I think that affirmative, the court is showing that they love the blacks by taking away affirmative action, like I said yesterday at the meeting.
Right.
Because they're telling the blacks, you can do it. I believe in you. I want you to be your best, so get to work. Study, prepare, do what normal people do, and stop looking dumb and being used to dumb down America. And then America will become great again if they insisted that you work hard and earn your way. It would make America great, but if we keep dumbing the people down with affirmative action, it's going to only get worse.
Yeah, it's worse for them anyway because they get into Ivy League schools and they fail out. So that you can either go there and get Fs or you can go get straight A's at community college. Which one's, obviously one is going to be better for you in the long run.
Yeah.
That happens so often. They get in because of affirmative action, and then they fail out because they can't.
And then they
handle
feel
it.
worse about themselves.
Right.
I've seen that too. Also, you make a good point about junior college. I know some people from Alabama that graduated high school during my time, and they felt like the education down there wasn't good enough, and they wanted to go to college. So they went to the cities, and they went to junior college first. And they got a better education, then they went on to, I guess, higher college thing.
Yeah.
Whatever you call it.
Yeah.
But they can earn, and plus, if you want to go to school, get a job. I don't want to pay for a piece of paper that all it does is puff up your ego.
Right.
Nobody asked me, oh, I'm going to college, just would you pay for it?
We all know what they're learning in college nowadays.
It reminded me of when some years ago they gave the blacks a loan to buy a house. Remember that? And then the market crashed.
Yeah, right.
You remember that?
2008.
So what?
Yeah, I think that was somewhat the sequence of events.
Yeah, and the market crashed because all these blacks got these loans because stupid Maxine Waters, low IQ, was forcing the banks to let the blacks have the loan.
Yeah, and Clinton. Bill Clinton was in on that.
That's for
He
sure.
helped her.
Yeah, remember that, huh?
I remember because that's why we got a house growing up, because Bill Clinton. Shout out to Bill. But then we lost it. Shout out to foreclosure.
Isn't it interesting how it's corrupting and cheapening?
Oh, that is so funny. Shout out to foreclosure. I know so many blacks who got houses during that time, and they lost them. They didn't pay the bills.
Yep.
And the market crashed.
2008, right?
Yeah. And so these student loans that they don't want to pay back remind me of that. And everybody know that blacks not going to pay back the money. Even in your family, you loan your family member money, they ain't going to pay you back. You can say goodbye to that money.
That's a fact.
Okay. Last words here. Let's go with Hassan first.
It's a good start to White History Month.
Nothing but good news. Nick, the Anchor Baby.
Happy White History Month.
Amazing. Sean.
Couldn't remember.
We have a Trump chia pet up and coming. It's in growth right now. It's in the growth process.
I know, it
so
looks nice. Yeah.
in maybe, I don't know, 5-6 days, it's going to start sprouting, and we're going to have a Trump chia pet to show everyone, and we can watch it grow together.
Sam from Florida sent us that.
Yep. Sam, Florida or New York, something like that.
Florida, he called on Friday. I think he said Florida.
Oh. Thank you, Sam.
Yeah. Hake.
Rich L in the chat says Bush made banks lend to some subprime blacks, causing the housing crisis in part.
Oh, that's who did that, Bush?
Yeah, but maybe according to him. But I heard it was Clinton. But I wouldn't doubt both of them were bad.
Yeah, Bush is just bad at Clinton.
Mm-hmm. Although the universities and colleges are, speaking of subprime, they're not at their prime right now. They're not worth going to in many cases for many people. I think this will be a positive impact on them in part. It'll help improve them.
I could be wrong, and I hope that I am, but I predict because of these decisions that it's going to be a long, hot summer.
Like riots?
Yeah.
You talking about riots?
I believe the blacks are going to try to burn down the universities.
Well, I mean,
the white university. They don't care about the black university because nobody go there anyway.
You know, and there's riots in France now.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
We're going to be getting to that shortly.
Yeah, we have that story coming up.
And they say that people who make predictions say that that's coming to America.
It's already in America.
I know, but they cut off some.
We did it first.
Hands.
What?
Whatever. They cut off some guy's hands for trying to protect his stuff or protect people's property, and they cut off his hands. Normally, you cut off people's hands for trying to steal. They cut off his hands for trying not to let people steal.
A white man?
I don't know.
Wow.
I just saw some headline.
I saw this interesting movie last night. I think it was called The Purge. I may be wrong. Anybody heard of that?
That's a movie.
Yeah, I think we've all heard of The Purge. There's multiple ones.
Well, I may be wrong about the name of it, but and you guys can tell me. But the movie was about they had changed American Constitution,
right?
And so they had, since everybody was so angry and lawless, this one day in America, they allowed the people to kill and let out their aggression no matter what.
Right.
And you won't be arrested. No charge. And so what the white people did, they had to put these iron doors that let down on their homes and things. And anyone, whatever crime you wanted to commit, you could beat up people, you could break in people's homes, anything. And for one day, because of the rewriting of the Constitution, there would be no charge to it. And it was crazy. Y'all saw that already?
They play that every July.
They play it every July?
I had a caller on my show telling me they play it every July. And I remember they were playing it back to back during the George Floyd riots. And I thought it was weird. It was like back to back to back, Purge 1, Purge 2. Wow. It was like a sequel.
Oh, it is? Oh, I thought it was just a one-time movie. I hadn't seen it, nor had I heard of it before. But it reminds me of what already happened in this country. It's so lawless and crime everywhere.
Right.
But what was interesting is that there was this one white family where the white man, it was a daddy, wife, mother, daughter, and son. And the little son, he was white, so he was like creating this little computer thing, mobile thing. But the father and the girl was rebelling against her parents. Did y'all see that part?
I didn't see the movie. I just know of it.
Oh,
you're talking about the rich family?
5 of them.
Yeah.
The rich family with the weird ritual stuff at the end?
Well, the man that sold...
Spoiler alert.
The man that sold all the insurance to everybody.
You can't do
because the movie,
after you spoil it.
The movie's like, it's like a new American holiday, and it's supposed to be like, this is how messed up America has become. But in the movie, they have total, like, you could say it's like class stuff, but I think it's racial because all the rich white people in the movie, they can protect themselves. They have the money to protect themselves on the holiday, and the poor minorities, they are subject to the purge.
How come the blacks always have to be the down and out one? And so what happened was, it was dynamic in this white family, in this beautiful white community. Now, I think the father had sold most of the gates to the homes or insurance and stuff, so he had buku money. They had built a beautiful home as a result of that. But the daughter was mad. She was rebelling against her parents. She would sneak her little boyfriend, and she was a teenager, into the house. And the little kid was spoiled and rebelling against the parents, so they weren't getting along. So long story short, when it was time to do the rebellion stuff, like at 8 o'clock, I guess, at night, the father let down all the windows and stuff. It reminded me of South Africa. I remember one time when the Anchor Baby produced the show, we did this thing where in South Africa, the white people had all these locks and chains.
Yeah.
Was that with you?
I've seen it before. I'm not sure who it was with. But.
And it reminded me of that. And so at 8 o'clock, it started. The battle started. And there was one black guy that ran down into the white community. He had been shot. And the little white kid felt emotional for him. And he let up the door thing and let the black man in. And it destroyed the whole family. Wow. The boyfriend ended up, because he was sneaking around with the daughter upstairs, he ended up shooting the father, shooting at the father, and the father had to kill him, the white boyfriend. And then the white communities, some people in the white community blew up the white man home to try to get in to get the black guy. And, just a mess.
Yeah. One night without laws or rules, and you'll see these murderous people start going after each other.
But it's exactly what's happening now in the country. Every day is purge in America.
Yeah, I was gonna say Nick and I have seen some of the characters. I think around here, walking around.
Oh yeah. So you guys saw the movie?
Yeah, I've seen the movie and I live the movie.
Have you seen all
When I
5
come
of the
in
movies?
the
There's
mornings.
5 of them.
There's 5.
There's 5. There's a Purge franchise. I've only seen the first one.
The Purge 2013, The Purge Anarchy 2014, The Purge Election Year 2016, The First Purge 2018, The Forever Purge 2021.
Sick movie makers, but I mean, sick people, really. We're
Well,
gobbling this up.
But that's what's happening right now in the country.
Yeah, that's
Evil,
why
sick people.
That's why I haven't seen the movie because I just watch the news.
Yeah, every day.
Yeah.
Walk them down the streets. Amazing. Anyway, my experience, y'all. Thank y'all very much. I do appreciate it. What a mess. The Purge is every day. I had not heard about that movie before, except I saw someone invite me to see it last night. Amazing. Let me go to Gil, a first-time caller out of Texas. Gil, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
How you doing, Jesse?
All is well, sir.
Great. I'm first time calling in. Doing a lot of reflecting. I've actually counseled with you quite a few times, and still battling with anxieties and fears.
Speak up a little bit, Gil.
I've counseled with you a few times, and still battling with some anxieties and fears. Just reflecting. I find myself reflecting, trying to understand how I got here, where I'm at. And I feel like, I don't know if I'm having a hard time knowing, I've known of you for some time now, some years, and I feel like maybe the knowledge or being aware or awake is like a burden to me. When I started to follow you and understand about being in the present, I think I started to be in the present in my life and to just start to work on things. And I kind of felt like the world or those around me kind of started attacking me in a way. I don't know if I stood out because I was being more calm and in the present, not trying to live in the past or the future. And I felt like I was being attacked by my ex, family around me. I don't know if that tends to happen. They see something different in you, and you tend to not act like like others, and kind of like a outcast or something. And they attack, and just wondering like when or how, or this perception of understanding this, when does it turn from a burden to just being at peace with it?
Amazing. Very good question, man. Can you hold?
Yes.
Right, hold on. Let me take a quick break. 2 more hours to go. Hake is coming in with the hate news. Not the fake news, but the Hake news. I'll be back in a moment. 2 more hours to go. To your phone calls and super chats and all that. Back in a moment. We have a counseling service, and I have to admit, thanks to God, it is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy, they're miserable, they have rough lives, they're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really, really, really want to understand, they overcome it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingaman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven.
firework bands, they're doing drone shows now, whatever that is. And Elon Musk is limiting your Twitter use, or maybe AI bot Twitter use. Who knows? This is the end of hour one of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It is Monday. Everybody loves Mondays. July 3rd, 2023 AD. Happy White History Month and happy 4th of July. Hopefully we get there. We will be live tomorrow, by the way, on the radio shows. JLP will be right back to your calls and more stories. But first, Hake news, not fake news. Cities declare their independence from fireworks. The Morning Brew reports as smoky skies blanket the East Coast and the West enters another wildfire season. Thanks to Canada, by the way. Back east. Many U.S. cities are beginning to acknowledge that pounding the air with pyrotechnics in the middle of the summer is maybe not the best idea, they say. Expanding a trend that began in earnest last summer, the number of cities, particularly in the West, are scrapping their 4th of July fireworks displays in favor of drone shows. But don't worry, your Mexican neighbors are still going to be lighting stuff off, right? Left and right. Salt Lake City will hold its first drone show for Independence Day to be conscientious of both our air quality and the potential for wildfires, said Mayor Erin Mendenhall, E-R-I-N. Not sure if that's a man or a woman. Mendenhall. Boulder, Colorado is doing the same, citing increased fire danger fueled by climate change. Boulder, Colorado. Probably not Christians. In California, Lake Tahoe and La Jolla are also opting for drone shows. What's a drone show? Community leaders hope their residents will embrace change like baseball fans have the pitch clock. Not only are drones safer and better for the environment than fireworks, they say, but they're also quiet, which is great news for dog owners. Poor doggies. Plus, they can tell a story in a way that fireworks cannot. As more events around the world, from the Super Bowl to New Year's celebrations, adopt drone shows, whatever that is, the market for them has grown from virtually nothing a decade ago to $1 billion roughly in 2021, they say. The pyros aren't going down without a fight. Nice. Based. Fireworks have never been more popular, actually. Americans, quote-unquote Americans, right, increased their spending on fireworks by about $100 million this year compared to last summer, per the American Pyrotechnics Association. If spending reaches $2.3 billion this season as expected, that would represent a triple increase in from just 11 years ago. I call it the invasion. Remember during the China virus, they weren't supposed to do it, and everybody was doing the stuff in 2020 or so. Anyway, compared to synchronized drones, fireworks are much cheaper. A small drone could cost $20,000, while the fireworks display can land under $7,000 per Flyers magazine. Plus, the coolest drone shows don't stir the soul quite like the experience of watching explosives detonate hundreds of feet above you or less and illuminate the night sky. As drone choreography goes mainstream and fireworks sales grow even higher, it's an entertainment world, right? Both types of shows will probably coexist in the July 4th itinerary. Elon Musk is limiting the amount of Twitter posts you can read, deploying the unusual business move of restricting how much people can use your product. Twitter owner Elon Musk slapped daily limits, per Morning Brew, on the number of posts users can see each day. 1,000 posts for unverified users. That doesn't sound like that many, but maybe it is. And 10,000 for paying verified customers. Elon Musk said the temporary rate limits are necessary to curb extreme levels of data scraping by organizations training their AI systems on Twitter conversations. Meanwhile, preparations for the Musk versus Zuckerberg cage match appear to be progressing. Wow, they're actually going to fight. Isn't that exciting? United Airlines is trying to make amends for their mass disruptions. You know, a lot of airplane flights have been delayed or canceled, and United Airlines try to do the right thing, whatever. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP, Hour 2.
to stand up strong. Ain't the truth about themselves to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Good morning. Welcome to the show. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773, 888-77-JESSE, Jesse. Jesse. My brand new biblical question for this week. Why do so many people commit suicide? Why do so many people commit suicide? You ever wonder that? Everybody, every mama commit suicide. Why? We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And if you're out and about anywhere in the world, stuck in the airport, no matter what, you can listen to the show on your iPhone or iPad by calling the listen line at 641-793-1500, 641-793-1500. And don't forget to follow us on cozy.tv/JLP and rumble.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. Like, follow, subscribe, ring the bell, do all that stuff. Amazing. So I heard that report from Hake just now about Elon Musk. He was apparently cutting back on the number of tweets you can read or something like that. Interesting. I believe, I may be wrong, that Elon Musk is going to end up, now I could be wrong, remember I said that, making Twitter really an amazing thing, because it seemed to be pretty smart. Elon Musk slapped daily limit on the number of posts users can see each day. 1,000 posts for unverified users and 10,000 for paying verified users. That's from the Morning Brew. The Morning Brew. Musk said the temporary rate limits are necessary to curb extreme levels of data scrapping by organizations training their AI system on Twitter conversation. See there? The white man in charge. What the? Anyway, I want to go back to a first-time caller, Gil, out of Texas. And Gil asked us the question. He's been, listening to the show. He's been counseling. He's been doing the prayer. And now his folks and others are starting to turn on him or have turned on him. And what's the situation with that? Am I right about that, Gil?
That has happened. That's what I feel like has happened. I've noticed already for some time now when reflecting how I'm where I'm at now and my relationship with others around me, my ex. Also, the way I feel too is how does this knowing, being aware that you need to aware of the world around me and seeing, when does it turn from a burden everywhere I look to a thing of peace where I understand what's going on and I can live peacefully in the world instead of it being a burden, like everywhere I look I see darkness. Yeah.
Instead of what?
That makes sense. Instead of looking at, counting it as joy and understanding I can see and being in peace with that I can be in the world and be at peace.
How do you feel about the people turning against you and then seeing in the world all the hell that's going on? Why is that a burden to you?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm like, I feel like am I having a hard time just letting it be? I don't know if I'm fighting it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see the reality that it is. And I may have carried thoughts in my head that obviously, you know, we grow up and we're told to think a certain way. We see all the Disney movies and all the other mess that they throw at us. They paint us a picture as we grow up, and then reality starts hitting, and then kind of has to do with their biblical question. It starts pushing people to come out of their imagination, and they're not understanding what they've been programmed to see or programmed to think, and that doesn't correlate with reality.
And so it feels like a burden to you because now you're starting to see reality and you don't want to see reality?
I want to stop feeling like it's a negative.
Oh, and
to me or something.
Oh, I see. And you feel like, what does a negative feeling feel like? Seeing reality, what's a negative feeling feel like?
Maybe it's making me feel hopeless that I won't see some peace or happiness because there's too much. I'm seeing too much of the negative around me.
Oh, I see.
Seeing the way, maybe.
And does it bother you that family and friends and ex are turning on you? That bother you as well? You're saddened by that?
I think that, right. I think that it bothers me today because I think I feel beaten and weak. Prior, when I first, years ago, when I felt like I was in a better place in my life, I could handle them turning or not seeing, and I felt stronger. But I think I've had so much happen in my life that I feel down on the bottom and I feel weak, so I think it does affect me a lot.
And your question...
Maybe my foundation is not.
And your question for me about that is what?
So, will this ever turn into some peace, or is it just going to be me walking around and just seeing negative and it affecting me?
When you stop listening to thoughts about what you see, and the only reason you're feeling like a burden, as you call it, it feels like you're losing something, right? And it feels like you're alone. It feels like whatever, like a burden, as you say. But that's not you that's feeling that. That's the spirit of evil that made a home in your imagination and in the body, in the emotions. It's not you feeling that. It's this thing dying in you. The spirit of evil, which is of the devil, is being taken away from you. But because you have identified with it all of your life, it feels like a burden. It feels like you, Gil, are losing, that you're losing something, and you're not. You're losing death of the spirit of evil, and you're becoming alive. And the fact that you can see it, you are already waking up to life. You're rising above the hell, and then the hell will die, and you will live. And you be glad to see reality because you were living in an illusion, total illusion before, thinking that your ex cared about you and you cared about your ex, and your friends and family member cared about you and you cared about them. It was all an illusion. And then, and now that you're seeing what's going on inside of you and this illusion that you're living, you also seeing the illusion in everyone around you, because the fact that you can see what's happening with you, God allows us to see what's going on in others as well, and you will see that you lived in that illusion. You can help yourself. Likewise, the other people are possessed and they can't help themselves either. So the moment you realize that all of your little ideas and your plans and this illusion life identities are disappearing, you're becoming free. So just know the feelings that you're getting are coming from thoughts, and it's not you at all. The real you don't even remember who he is yet, but you will. You will come to know him very well. He will appear as this old you is dying away. The old not you. But be happy for those people. Wish them well. But let them go, because they were never who they pretended. They never cared about you anyway. It was always about themselves. It was never about you. Because had it been about you, they would not disappear on you. They wouldn't turn against you like that. It was always about themselves. And the same with you, when you were living in that illusion, it was always about you, what you can get from others, emotions and feel-goods and fake stuff and fake friends and fake this, fake love. It was always about you and never about them. So you'll be fine, man.
Then I kind of want to lean towards when, we're not supposed to ask. I know I've heard that from you. When is it all going to stop? When is it going to, not all, but I'm saying when will you cross over the wall? When will it finally, when will I be on the other side?
The moment
I know you've said it's hell to go through to die to live.
The moment you realize it's not you, in the very moment you have crossed all the way over the wall, but because you still think it's you, you still think those identities are you, and it's not you that's dying, it's the fake you that's dying. It's thoughts.
Right.
It's thoughts that are dying. Guilt is coming to life, to the light again. This fake guilt, which is the nature of the devil, is dying. It's not you at all. If you could realize that right now, you'll be free right now, because eternal life is right now, right? But the devil is saying to you, when will it all end? How long will this last? Where is God? All kind of crazy stuff to you, because he's trying to keep you in time. He doesn't want you to be in present. He doesn't want you to be in eternal life. He want to keep you in time where he dwells, by telling you, oh, this is too heavy. This has been going on for so long. This is so painful. How long will it last? And you're listening to the devil. Let those voices, thoughts, and things pass. Just learn to let thoughts and feelings travel through you, not clog it up by identifying with it. And don't worry about the time. You just live in the present. You're fine.
All right. Always love to hear that laugh.
I know how you feel, man, because all of us have identified. We don't know the depths of how we have identified with false identities that's been put up on us by our parents, by the school, by the world around you, other people giving you these different titles and crappy names and calling you all these things, and you believe that you were those things, and you never were. And those are the things that are dying. So when thoughts die, those things will die as well. And you will live with practical thought, but you will live by faith. You will walk in the light of God. The real you going to be fine. You are already fine. You just don't know it. And you're not carrying a burden. You are dumping a burden of the ego. And so this way, once it's all died, and if you stay with it, it will disappear, period. All thoughts will disappear. And you'll be able to live in the world, but not of it. And the world will be going crazy. And you will be sitting back watching the world go crazy. but you won't be going crazy. You'll be sane in an insane world. This is hell on earth, but the hell on earth is inside of you. You can either be of hell or you can either be of heaven right here on earth. You are your own world.
Right. So I think you kind of have said that where other people, they draw out the hell that's already inside of you. If you have something going on inside of you, that they're pulling it out of you. If there wasn't anything inside of you like that, other people would not bother you.
They would not bother you.
Things around you. Yeah.
That's right. They didn't put it there, and they don't even. And the evil ones are trying to pull it out on you because they want to control you, right? But it's not their fault, so don't blame them. So when people can make you feel a certain way, whether fear or so-called feel good or doubt or whatever, don't blame them. Just see that is in you. All you need to do is see it. And once you see it, seeing it is the light of God, the spirit, the power. That's your power. It will destroy it. But if you blame someone else for whatever you feel, whether it's fear, doubt, or whatever, you blame yourself or you blame others, then you is keeping it alive. It's inside of you. And that's hell on earth. And anyone who has anger has fear and they have hatred, they're catching, they're living in hell right here on earth.
Yeah. It kind of like, and I know this, I cannot judge another person, but I get, like when my ex will say things to me, hurtful things, and then in my mind I'm like, I can't imagine myself saying or doing these things to another person. And it affects me if I allow it. I guess I'm thinking that myself is better than her because she's telling me these words, and I see myself as better, and I wouldn't see myself saying those things to her or to anybody. These very hurtful things, and I don't know.
I have, as I said yesterday in the fellowship, over the last 33 years, I've seen evil in human beings like I never knew existed. I just never knew it even existed. I didn't know human beings can treat each other in that way. But it's not them. They're possessed with demons, evil demons. And so your ex is possessed. And because I don't know her, so I don't know if she's ready to overcome or not. But if she's not trying to overcome it, she loves her hell, and she is saying those words to you in an attempt to hurt you so she could feel a sense of life from it. It's not life she's feeling death, but she called it life. And so, but if you feel... I think I might be having some kind of... I see that, everything that you're saying, because I do see it, but then I reach out, like, essentially kind of like in my mind, expecting them to be better, hoping or expecting them to change or to see it. Yeah, that's in your mind.
I have no will over that. I have no control over that.
You have zero control. Look, you can't even change your own life. You're working on it by seeing it, but you can't change it at all. If you were able to will yourself out of the hell you're in, you've already done it, right? And likewise, you can't change her or anyone else. But if you understand the hell that's in you, you will understand the hell in them, and you just wish them well. And if she or anyone is making you feel something with words, just quietly notice that you're feeling it. Just watch it. But don't be hoping that she would be quiet. Don't wish that you were not in the situation. Just watch it, but don't condemn yourself. Don't call it good or evil. Just watch it, and you would see it for what it is, and you'll be fine. And then when she come back with those same words or other words to try to hurt you, you won't feel anything about it at all, because that spirit or those spirit will have been taken away from you. You are possessed with spirit, every human being, not one that's not possessed. And that's why we must be born again of the light. And that light is God, and he will dwell in us, and they will have nothing but peace. So if she's making you feel something, you don't need to let her know she's making you feel something, but just quietly take it. And just slow down so that the truth can catch up to you.
Okay. All right.
And so just welcome the truth by you welcome the truth.
Oh, I welcome. I'm totally open for it, especially coming across you. I've always, like I've told you before, growing up, and I always sensed something. I could see something, sense that I couldn't wrap my mind around it or put words to it.
Yeah.
And then I came across you, and I said, that is exactly how I've always thought. Something was there.
So then when the pain is there, relax so you welcome the truth. You're seeing and feeling the pain because the truth is allowing you to do that. But it's not you. So welcome the truth so it can demolish, get rid of all pain and thoughts, all thoughts and pain. Just know you have never had a true thought. You will never have a true thought. There's no such thing as a true thought. All thoughts are all lies about anything except precious thought. So just relax so you can overcome thoughts. And don't let the devil tell you that you are carrying a burden. You're not carrying anything. Relax and overcome this false nature. And it happens to everyone. And not all people are going to get to the way you are right now because it's too painful. They'll run away from it. They'll say, wow, you know what, I'm tired of working on myself. I'm just going to be me or whatever. They return into the hell. But stay with it, stay with it, stay with it. Because most people turn away from it at this point and they go back into their hell.
Oh, I know. I've thought about them. It's like the whole idea of the blue pill, the red pill, and it's like, man, I would go back to that blue pill, but you can't. Once that thought crosses your mind, you see something, you cannot go back.
You sure can't. Once you get to a certain point, and see, you have gone past the intellectual part of it, and that's why you can't turn around. Intellectual people who hear the same truth that we're speaking now, they're here intellectually, and they would try to allow it to be, but after a while, they just go back into their hell. They make up excuses and blame others and go back into their hell. But you've gone beyond the intellect. You now see what's going on, and it's going to be impossible to turn around. No matter who turned against you, no matter what they say, what they try to do, you're going to know that they can't hurt you. They're not hurting you. They're hurting themselves trying to hurt you. Because what you do to others, you're doing it to yourself. And so you'll be fine. And why do you deal with the ex anyway?
I got 2 boys.
Oh.
And yeah, and pretty close. I want to be around them, obviously, and that's makes it tough. But I welcome being open that I can overcome this me inside what I'm dealing with, that I can just be around her in the state that she's in, that it won't affect me. And I feel like that I welcome that day because I sense that it can be there. I can be there.
Especially if
you in peace and just be. And I think I have a sense that it's there. It's close.
Right on.
At hand.
Yeah, so don't let the devil talk you out of it, like, how long is this going to last? When will this, if you had to go through it 1,000 times, you'd be willing to do it. Don't worry about the time. You stay present. And if you can overcome this woman or this world psychologically, you shall be free. Because it's a psychological mindset that's happening. It's not happening to you physically. It's all in the mind, and it's not true at all. And so you're right. If you can overcome this woman or this situation psychologically, and you want to go and see your sons, your kids, because I don't know if they're boys or girls, but your kids, and you want to hang out, this one would be having a hissy fit, but it would totally be on her, and it wouldn't be moving you at all. It wouldn't bother you one iota.
You know, I also thought about if I start walking and reaching that point where that doesn't affect me, and I think you even said it, though, people will even come out. the devil will send out his demons into others to even attack you more the more you get closer to the light.
Absolutely.
Or the other side. And that kind of actually bothers me. I'm worried about that because, yeah, my life can get a little worse if she gets angry, and things can happen, and there's things that she can affect the boys with, and my time with them, and those wicked things that happen in the world.
But I want you to get to a point where if you have to let the boys go, you let them go too. Don't let anybody or anything be so important to you that you won't let it go, because you're not going to be free. Because if you make the boys, if you're unwilling to let the boys go, you're worshiping them. You're putting them before God. And the devil and this woman know that. And she would destroy them in order to destroy you, because she knows that by the spirit of the devil leading her, she knows that they mean a lot to you. And because of her hatred for you, she'll destroy them trying to get to you. But if you don't let the boys be that important to you, you don't have to tell her that. Just inwardly you know that nothing or no one is that important that you're unwilling to let it go. Then you cannot be controlled by her.
You hit the nail on the head, because I know where I'm at.
Yeah, don't be willing to cut the baby in half. Let her have the baby, and she'll pay the price for it, because she's going to give them double hell if she knows that they are important to you. But if she knows that they are not that important to you, without you saying it, because inwardly you love your boys, you're not emotionally loving them, but you know that. And she would give them some hell, but not double hell, trying to hurt you.
Yeah. So to protect them as best I can, I have to make peace with that.
You have to be willing to walk away. Let it go. You shall only love God with all your heart, soul, and might, along with nothing else, and your neighbor as yourself. And so anything we love more than God, we worship it. You hear people complain about depression, sadness, loneliness, HTDP, alcoholic, drug, homosexual, lesbian, suicidal thoughts, whatever it is, right? They are worshiping those things, and they love it. That's why they complain about it. Post-stress traumatic. People who complain about that, what they're telling you is that they worship that. That is their God. They love those things more than they love God. That's why they complain about them. And so you don't want to put
I've heard you say that before. It's funny because it's like I get glimpses of things, and I've heard you say that before on the shows and what have you. But I don't know. I just got a glimpse of sensing in a different manner what you just explained.
Even when you mention how long would this last, I don't want to ask Jesse, but how long would this last? What you're doing is really worshiping that, because you're whining over something that's not even you anyway. It's the nature of the devil, and you're whining about it. But if you can see it's not you, you would never whine about it. You will overcome it by staying present. So you want to overcome all thoughts.
It's like a trap.
Yes. So nothing is happening to you, it's happening to the not you, all right?
All right.
Stay with it. Stay with it. You must be willing to travel this thing alone, this journey alone. Nobody love you. They don't care about you at all. Nobody.
All right, Jesse.
All
I
right.
appreciate you.
All right,
appreciate
buddy.
everybody.
All right.
All right.
Bye now.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Quick break. Back in a moment. Now, I totally disagree with the way things are going, but you can't be angry. because that's what the enemy wants. He wants to control you. They do things to make you mad so they can control you. It's like being married. And the wife would do things to make you mad, or she'll do things to make you feel good. And men do that to women too when they want something from the woman, especially sex. They'll make her feel good or they'll make her angry. And the woman's gonna have to say, you don't want to be angry. You want to speak up. You want to disagree with what's going on. It's wrong, but do not be angry. Then you won't have fear. You won't have doubt. You won't have worries. You'll be able to see, but you got to stay away from anger. That's why you must forgive your mothers and your fathers so that you can overcome the spirit of anger. It's a spirit and it's wicked. Nothing good in anger because it has no love, folks. You need love to defeat evil. And love is not a weakness. It's a strength. It's from God. It's His nature. Okay, the Hake Report coming up at 9 a.m. this morning from 9 to 11, thehakereport.com. The Anchor Baby show is at 12 noon today. The American Anchor Baby. The American Anchor Baby. So I've been told that from 12 noon Pacific time, starting at 12 noon Pacific time, I've been told that to inform you all to watch out for a fake WhatsApp account, a fake WhatsApp account. Apparently someone is pretending that they're me and that they're selling the White History shirts and things on WhatsApp. That's not us. If you have any doubt, check with us first, all right? We don't use WhatsApp, whatever that is. I don't even know what it is, to be honest. But we don't use WhatsApp. It's fake. The devil is busy. And if you do want to order, and I suggest you do, order your limited supply of White History shirts, go to whitehistorymonth.store. whitehistorymonth.store. All right, White History Month. We ain't got nothing to do with no WhatsApp. We don't use that. And so go to whitehistorymonth.store. We will be here live tomorrow, the 4th of July. I can't believe the 4th of July is here already. July just feels white. We will be here tomorrow on the live doing shows tomorrow. And on Thursday, if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise, I know a lot of people out of town, but we still holding the men's forum the first Thursday of this month. So we will be having it this Thursday at 7 p.m. and the third Thursday for the ladies at 7 p.m. And shout out to the guys from Europe yesterday. Amazing. I think from Europe, right? Somewhere like that. Amazing. From over yonder. From Belgium. Thank you. Shout out to the guys from Belgium, and Belgium is Europe as well. And those guys, it's the same spirit. They're dealing with the same thing, and they are overcoming. So they'll travel. They stopped by for the meeting yesterday. It was amazing. Let me go to Matus, a first-time call out of California. Matus, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Good morning, Jesse.
Good morning.
I just wanted to tell you, I just came across you and your Savage videos. Get a job, on YouTube. I'm a truck driver, and I started listening to them, and it's awesome to hear somebody that preaches what I found out on my own. But I want to listen to you a lot more to hear what else you got, because I've been homeless and battling drugs for 25 years, and one day I got on my knees and I asked God for help. First time I ever asked God for help, and something said, "You got to forgive your mother." I didn't understand how that happened, and I'm being, and it's just crazy. And I forgave my mother for all the stuff that happened and then you start to realize, I got nobody to blame. I'm a man, and I haven't been angry at it. I let go of anger. And I haven't been I've been angry one time in the last 2 years since I've been clean and sober. And right when I got angry, I caught myself. I realized that ain't going to get me nowhere. And I just started talking to my father again. And he wants me to move in with him because he's getting old and he can barely walk and talk. And he wants to give me his house. And I'm like, I think it sounds good, whatever. But I want to be my own man. But it's just amazing the things that happen when you let go of hate.
Yep.
And one other quick thing. My friend was blacker than the Ace of Spades, and I didn't realize he was black. My best friend growing up till he died. I didn't realize. I never saw color, man. It's just amazing that the things you say are they're right on. It really is amazing, and I'm so glad I came across you. And it's just amazing to hear all the things you say.
Right on,
I just wanted
Matus.
to share that with you.
Stay with it. Stay with it. You reminded me of when I had been going to different churches and doing everything the preachers say. I volunteered. I gave tithes and offerings. I participated in the men's forum, all kind of stuff. But I wasn't inwardly. I had a lot of conflict. I had fear and I had conflict. And so finally, I asked us. Because I had asked everybody else. I asked God to let me see myself. I'm like, look, this ain't working. and he allowed me to see that I resented my mother because I did not know I resented my mother. I thought the emotional love I felt, I thought it was love, but it was hate disguised as love. And it was probably one of the hardest things I ever done. I had to go and face her shaking in my boots, but I forgave her. Hey, I'm sorry for resenting you. I realize now you can help yourself. And exactly what she had done to me, she told me her mother had done it to her, and she didn't know she passed it on to me. But I've not looked back since then.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Thank you, sir.
Stay with it, stay with it, stay with it.
God bless, man. You have a good day, Mr. Peterson.
You too, buddy. Amazing, right? You can be free or you can live in your hell. Stay in your hell. It's up to you. God is not... Super chats, by the way. Super. God is not going to force you to overcome your hell. He'll just let you suffer and die and continue to die because anyone that has anger, has fear, they are dying already. He'll just let you die in your own little hell. You are your world. You want to stay in your hell world? Stay there. Okay, no sweat off my back. Or you want to live in heavenly world? You can do that. You can overcome the world. So it's up to you. That's an amazing story from Matus. You can know the truth if you want it, and the truth will make you free. And you'll just wish everybody else in their hell and outside their hell. Fine. It ain't about color, folks. It ain't about color, period. You are possessed with the spirit of the devil. You're evil. And evil people, angry people do horrible things to you, themselves and others. You have no love. And the Bible, the people that are supposed to be Christians are worse than the ones that are not. Judgmental, overreaction, just everything. And by the way, check out our cash.app/bond JLP. You can help us that way. We ain't got no WhatsApp. It's cash.app/bond JLP. All right. Super chat. Super chat.
This is from Church with Jesse Lee Peterson, Bond YouTube channel. Madi Uvaldo, who is a member, a Bond channel supporter, by the way, you can join as a member, says, have a happy weekend. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Happy White History Month and happy 4th of July, Jesse and crew, members of the Bond family. Be safe and take care of yourselves. Love and appreciate y'all. God bless and much love.
Thank you. Happy White History Month to you, too. This is our 6th year celebrating White History Month. And I hope to come out with a bang with brand new shirts and things, designs and things. But a little slow. But we'll get them sooner or later. So thank you and happy White History Month.
I am mistaken. That was from the Fallen State. She is a member of the Fallen State.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that.
And also on the Fallen State on Friday, Ryan Phillips gifted 5 Fallen State memberships over there. Thank you.
Right on. You can support us by becoming a member of the fallenstate.tv there on our YouTube channel. Thank you all.
Tim Scott, the real one, not to be confused with the rhino, said, toll paid. I'm not going to the movies this weekend, so my $20 might as well go somewhere. Well, thank you, man. Appreciate your support.
Amazing, yes.
He also gifted 5 Fallen State memberships for the YouTube channel. Thank you, man.
Deep.
That was Tim Scott.
Thank you.
The real one.
Thank you, the real Tim Scott, not the beta Tim Scott.
YD Mr. Burns says with a super chat on the Fallen State, Big Mama ate all the ribs.
Michelle loves her tamales.
You do not want to get between Michelle
and her tamales. Amazing.
She knows she's still the boss.
Thank you.
Lord Bibby 42's been a
Lord Bibby
Fallen State member for 10 months.
Nice.
Amazing episode. What a nice couple. Referring to the couple, the black couple whom you interviewed that premiered on a Friday.
Oh, yeah. If you missed last Friday episode of Fallen State, you got a podcast. It was amazing. And the couple that was there was amazing.
Indeed.
I wonder if if it gave her, either one of them, what if it gave their mothers.
She seemed to be getting it.
Yeah, she did. Even the one before that, the lady seemed to be getting quicker than the man.
Oh, the other black couple.
Uh-huh.
Nice. True.
Amazing. Maybe we'll do a follow-up one day.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Will Cole's been a Fallen State channel supporter for 4 months.
Thank you.
He says, nice episode, y'all. Amazing.
Amazing.
And moving into church. Yesterday, church with Jesse Lee Peterson.
Yesterday with fellowship was amazing. Sometimes when I ask people, I want to encourage people to face their fear. And I know that so many people are afraid to speak in public. So I ask them to come up on the stage and face it. And yesterday we did. There were a couple of guys from Europe. Where were they from?
Belgium, Europe.
Belgium, Europe. And one of the guys didn't want to. I called him Beta. Beta! But one did, and it was amazing. Face your fears, folks. It's not you. It's the devil that's in you. Okay.
Mari Uvaldo. This time it's from the Bond channel, YouTube channel. She's also a Bond channel supporter.
Thank you.
She donated and stated, good morning, Jesse and crew. I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. I hope you guys have a happy and safe 4th. July just feels white. God bless y'all. Much love.
July just feels white. Amazing. Thank you. Same to you. Happy 4th.
Cold Burger Art says, morning. Pride Month if over, and all the Christians coming out of the woodwork. Happy 4th. 07 salute. Thank you.
07 salute. It's nice to be in that mess, Pride Month, and coming out with a fresh holiday month.
Nice.
White History Month. It just feels nice.
Indeed.
It feels fresh. Thank you.
Stefan J. Davis says, Happy Independence Day.
It's Independence Day.
Nice.
Thank you. Happy Independence Day.
Great name. Mr. J says, Hassan's dog emoji with a spot on it, and I watching church and celebrating White History Month like 90 going north.
That's right. Who let the dogs out?
Happy 4th of July, and shout out to Raymond Heblatt. Wish you all well.
Thank you. Happy 4th to you as well.
John Zimmer donated a generous super chat, writing ... or ellipsis or 3 periods. Nice. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Steve Strack donated a generous donation saying, keeping the donations strong this 4th of July weekend / beginning of White History Month. Very, very thankful for Bond.
Amazing. Thank you. I like and appreciate the fact that people are helping without me having to say help, right? Because common sense says, okay, if you're getting help, you would want to just naturally help others without being told. So thank you for that. We have a lot of work to do. And I know some of you need to be reminded to give. So give. Help us to help others. Especially since you're getting help. What the?
Becca.
I appreciate it.
My bad. Becca donated some Norwegian krona.
Hey, Becca.
She writes, happy WHM, shiny white heart emoji. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Canadian David on Rumble, J.C. Lee Peterson Rumble. We stream church with JLP on JLP Rumble.
You got to know how to rumble.
He says, Canadian David, thank God for Jesus and thank God for Jesus' brother Jesse, or Jesus' brother Jesse. He put apostrophe, no S. Making Christianity great again by shining light on thoughts so one may discern and better navigate. Amazing.
You're welcome. If you said, thank you. But I was thinking of something while you were reading that. Who was that from?
Canadian David.
Canadian David. If human beings understood the depths of their relationship with thoughts, their identity with thoughts, if they could just understand that, we will have peace on earth. Thoughts are your enemy. The ones that seem to be good and the ones that seem to be bad, they're both evil. They're both imposters. Really. Thoughts and feelings for men and women, boys and girls, are your enemy. You're worshiping them. You worship the devil. Why do you think the world pushes thoughts and feelings upon you so much? Because the world is of their daddy the devil. It's of its daddy the devil, and they want to keep all of you in the hell that they're in. And they will go out of their way to try to keep you in hell that they're in. But the greater power is in you. Greater is he that's in you than he that's in the world. You are your world. Amazing. Thank you.
Cold Burger Art with yet another super chat saying, happy White History Month.
Happy White History Month.
Free Like a Bird's been a Bond channel supporter for 3 months and writes, this morning emoji between sun rising between two mountains, looked up subject on marrying one who already has children. Matthew chapter 22 verse 24, King James Version, verse backs you up, JLP. Trump sun emoji, JLP emoji, coffee emoji, farmer guy with a pitchfork, and plant and heart with a bow on it. Nice, thank you.
Thank you. Amazing. It doesn't, just think about it. If you were in your right mind, you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't come between a father, his children, or a mother, her children, because one or other gone away, because you would know it affected the children. And you'll come to see that as you see what's happening inside of you. But the world push that kind of crap because they know it's evil. They know it's wrong. And they know it damaged the children. Amazing. Thank you.
Becca says, but donated some more Norwegian krona, a bunch more, saying, I bought my first home last week. Business is going well thanks to your book. I would not believe it if someone told me that I would be a homeowner at the age of 22.
Wow.
Thanks, Jesse, for your guidance.
Congratulations.
Thanks, hands emoji and red heart, shiny red heart emoji.
Amazing. Congratulations. And the book she was referring to is the 7 Guaranteed Steps to Spiritual, Finance, and Family Success. It's a little thin pocket guide. I highly recommend it for everybody and their mama. And if you just do those steps, 7 steps, simple, you do them, stay with them, and do them, you'll be surprised what's happening, what will happen. It's quite simple, all right? So if you like copies of it or a copy, go to rebuildingdemand.com, rebuildingdemand.com, or call 800-411-BOND, 800-411-2663. And I will happily sign them for them. Sign them for you. Someone else bought a home. I'm trying to see who that was. Did you hear me mention that, Hake?
I did not.
Oh,
Or if I did-
Isaac.
Oh, nice. Wow.
Isaac, and he just turned 24, 25. He just bought his first home. Right on. It could be done. God owned the world. He created the world, right? He'll take care of his children, too. But you got to stay present. You got to be doers and not just hearers. Amazing. And shout out to Get a Job. Amazing stuff. Stop there.
Okay.
And I'll come back. I want to get in a few more calls before this break. Thank you all. We'll finish up on it when we come back. I want to take some more calls before we run out of time. Let me go quickly to a first-time caller out of North Carolina, Nicole. Nicole, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, Jesse. Thanks for taking my call.
You're welcome.
Happy White History Month.
July just feels white. Happy White History Month.
I wanted to call in, first-time caller, not a first-time viewer. I actually saw your slut walk video when I was in college, right at the time that I needed it the most. But of course, I was at a liberal arts or liberal college, very feminist at the time, and so your message didn't. I think the roots were planted then, but the fruit didn't really blossom until more recently. I unfortunately lost my dad really suddenly about 3 years ago, actually right at the height of COVID when everything was blowing up. My dad passed away, and it's really interesting. The caller before me spoke about how he had just started back speaking to his father, and that was what the situation was for me. Actually, 3 days before my dad passed, I had asked him if I could move in with him. All of his life, he wanted me to move in with him. I guess I should mention also I was raised by my mother and my grandmother, and my dad wasn't really in the picture. I did know him, but it wasn't, the relationship wasn't fostered. And I thought that I didn't need the relationship as well. I thought, I used to have him saved in my phone as father as opposed to dad because I didn't feel close to him, and I didn't think that I needed to be close to him either.
Wow.
There was, because of the influence from the women in my family and just society as a whole. And so, of course, when I saw the slut walk videos and some of the first instances of seeing you when I was in college, 22, 23 years old, just thinking that I had all the answers,
Yeah.
I wasn't open to receiving that message just then. But as soon as my dad passed, it's really sad. I texted him saying, "Hey, I think I would like to move in."
Nicole, can you hold for me?
Sure.
Okay, hold on. Let me take a break. I'll come back to you as soon as I return. One more hour. Just me. One more hour to go. Back in a moment. Hake coming in with the hate news, not the fake news, but the hate news. And I'll be back in a moment to all of your calls and the rest of your super chats and other stuff. Back in a moment. You can't run from evil within yourself or outside of self. You got to deal with it. And you need good in order to deal with evil. And God is good. You need to return to the Father. And you'll see within you, he will fight the battle for you. And he will fight it without, because he will show you how to deal with it. And you will have no fear. Love God with all your heart, all your soul, all your might, along with nothing else. Nothing else means yourself, your children, your wife, your things, your ego, your reputation, and all that. You can't care about any of that. The children of anger will use it to control you. But if you love God, he will renew your mind, and none of those things will be before him. And so when they go after you, oh, well, you may take my body, you may take my things, but you're not going to take my soul. And that's a true reality.
Southern California hotel, quote-unquote, workers, unionized, of course, communists, are on strike, apparently, right now, they say. And July 4th is tomorrow. Prices are all over the place still to this day. Thanks a lot, Sleepy Joe. And storms blowing through, even continuing in France. France is a mess right now. It's terrible. And there was another black mass shooting in like Baltimore or something over the weekend. 28 people injured, 2 killed, 3 critically wounded. Maybe more have died. I don't know. This is the end of hour 2 of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It is Monday. Everybody loves Mondays. The 3rd of July, 2023 AD. Happy White History Month. Stay tuned for hour 3. Last hour of JLP today is coming right up. But first, Hake News, not fake news. After the Jesse Lee Peterson Show, the Hake Report. That's my show. And then, of course, American Anchor, baby. I do believe noon Pacific time today. Indeed. So check that out. And you can podcast Church with Jesse Lee Peterson, rebuildingtheman.com/church. The Morning Brew reports, the far-left extremist outlet Morning Brew, thousands of unionized hotel workers in the Los Angeles area channeled the 4th of July spirit and walked off the job yesterday, Sunday, to demand an immediate $5 an hour raise to keep pace with skyrocketing housing prices. Doesn't even make sense. The strike could hurt LA's tourism economy on a busy holiday weekend that also includes the Anime Expo. Stay away. Los Angeles has been a hotbed of labor organizing, meaning communism, recently. Hollywood writers were on strike for about 2 months, I think, maybe to this day. Dock workers, supposed workers at the ports of Los Angeles and Long Beach, Strong Beach, picketed before agreeing to a new labor deal. What a mess. Wimbledon begins today, by the way. That's a tennis thing. Based Novak Djokovic, according to the Morning Brew, is in the clear favorite in the men's draw. But look out for Taylor Fritz, number 9 in the world, and Francis Tiafoe, number 10. It's the first time since 2012 that 2 American men are ranked in the top 10 entering Wimbledon. July 4th is tomorrow, 4th of July, Independence Day. If you haven't bought supplies for your cookout yet, if you're going to do that, you'll find sirloin steak, if you're going to get steak, and processed cheese for your burger are more expensive than last July 4th. Thanks a lot, Sleepy Joe. But chicken and eggs, who eats chicken and eggs on 4th of July, are cheaper. According to Wells Fargo's chief agricultural economist, Michael Swanson. This is according to the Morning Brew, far-left extremist. Plus, filling up your gas tank will cost you about $1.30 less per gallon than a year ago per AAA because it was so ridiculously high last year. It's still ridiculously high this year, but just not as extreme. Storms blowing through. Severe weather storms. Well, they are weather storms. I guess that's redundant. Blanketed the United States over the supposed holiday weekend just now. From the Northeast to the Midwest, according to NBC News, far-left extremist NBC. Now the eastern seaboard can expect more scattered showers with damaging winds and hail, and tornadoes will be possible. In the west, heat alerts will continue through the holiday. It's supposed to be 80 today. France is a mess. The Tour de France grinds on in the southwest part of the country per Morning Brew. Watch out for violent insurrectionist immigrant rioters, am I right? Here's a quote that they share, "We want things to calm down. We want to calm things down." That's what the grandmother of that 17-year-old Algerian guy who got fatally shot by a French cop called on the rioters to stop their violent attacks, like they're going to listen to her. Following nearly a week of protests. She's barely speaking now. Maybe she's been speaking. The riots appear to be abating somewhat, but on Sunday, a Paris area mayor's wife and child were injured when a burning car hit their home in the middle of the night. The killing of that teen, known as Nahel, Nahel, at a traffic stop unleashed long simmering frustrations supposedly over police alleged mistreatment of French immigrants, particularly those of North African descent. Okay, far left Morning Brew, we see you're full of it. I'm James Hake, now back to JLP, Hour 3.
to stand up strong. Ain't the truth about themselves to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. Good morning again, and welcome to the third hour of the show today. Happy 4th of July. Happy White History Month. July just feels white. You can get involved by calling 888-7753. 773-888-77-JESSE. My biblical question for this week: why do so many people commit suicide? Why do so many people commit suicide? Everybody and their mama. What a mess. That's the biblical question. We have every way that you can watch the show and support us listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show, JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And you can also listen to the show on your iPhone, iPad by calling 641-793-1500, 641-793-1500. And don't forget to follow us on cozy.tv/JLP, cozy.tv/JLP, and Rumble. You got to know how to rumble.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. Hit the like button, ring the bell, subscribe, and all those good things. All right. I want to go quickly back to Nicole. Nicole is a first-time caller out of North Carolina. And she heard me a long time ago, a while back, when she was in college, I believe she said. And she went and forgave her. I don't know if she said she forgave her father, but became closer to her father. He had wanted her to live with him. And before, she only had a relationship with the women in her family. And you know how that can be. And she's finally, sounds like she's waking up. Let me go quickly back to Nicole. Nicole, am I right about that?
Yes, that's correct. Basically, I'm in the process of forgiving my mother. I guess you could say I have forgiven her. I feel like there's still some stuff that I want to talk to her about. But my dad passed away right when I was starting to finally develop that relationship with him and realizing the lies. So I didn't really get the opportunity. It felt like a cruel joke a little bit, but in a way, you know, it was a huge catalyst for me to realize that I need to forgive my mother. You know, I was raised with fear and anxiety and doubt and no father figure or male figure at all to teach me how to face adversity, how to just, I don't even know, because I never had the male perspective really in my household. So that's basically what I was calling in for. I can't believe that I actually got through. This is my first time trying to call, and like I said, I only recently have really started to dive into your content because, you know, when I was younger. And the other thing, I have a younger sister who is, you know, 23, like I was when I was 23. I want to warn her of, you know, the things to come, but it's just not getting through. So.
Yeah, she's not ready yet.
Right.
May your father's soul rest in peace, by the way. And the fact that you know that you need to forgive him, and you, in your heart, you have done that because you can't go to him, you're going to be fine. And I suggest that you do as you seem like you're going to do. Face your mother. You're going to shake her your boots. Have no expectation from her at all. God will forgive you when you forgive her. And as you've heard me say, I hope that He would take away all the fear and the doubt and anxiety. And then the ego will die, and it's going to be amazing for you.
Yeah. I can't wait. I thank you for your content, for your words. I really appreciate it. When you answered, I was like, "What the?" That's my favorite.
What the? And are you black, Nicole?
I am.
She black. It's amazing that you're waking up. You can now see, and you're going to see that it has never been about color. It's never been about racism. It's never been about those things. It's about a separation from the Father. It's a spiritual thing.
Yeah.
Have you given the silent prayer a chance yet?
Silent prayer. I'm not familiar with that.
Go to www.silentprayer.video.
Okay.
And I recommend it every morning, every night. And God going to continue now to bring you out of the imagination, out of thoughts. And the thoughts will disappear eventually, and you'll be free. You ever see anything, Nicole, it gets better.
Okay. Thank you. Silentprayer.com, right?
Right. Silentprayer.video.
.video. Thank you.
Yeah. And if you can also find it at rebuildingaman.com/church.
Okay.
So .video, not .com. I wish you well. You made my day.
Thank you. That's amazing. Amazing.
Amazing. Happy 4th.
God bless.
You too. See, ladies, it's for everybody. Salvation, meaning a return to the Father, a freedom, meaning perfect peace, is for all. Most are not going to receive it. Most are not going to do it. Most will get it intellectually. No, many will get it intellectually. Most won't get it at all. A few will. A few will. I want to show you another quick example of what's happening in my country. I want to encourage you to be better with your money. To be better with it. This is from Fox. Oh, I got to tell you this first. We didn't get to that with my experts. I forgot. Remember how we told you that affirmative action has now been overturned, thank God, in the U.S. Supreme Court? Thank God. And thank Clarence Thomas and all the judges who voted against it. And they showed love to the blacks and love to America by saying, you can do it, you got to do it. If not, become a bum. It's up to you. You can do it. Well, according to Fox, a Boston University School of Law student were offered therapy. Students, Boston University School of Law students were offered therapy after 3 controversial Supreme Court decisions this week. Students were sent mental health resources to help navigate these times. So they're tripping. It's emotional painful for them, mentally painful, and they need therapy because the U.S. Supreme Court overturned the gay, making of gays website, if you don't want to, affirmative action, and everything else. I wonder if they sent over some comfort alligators or comfort dogs. You think? Maybe we need to order some alligators for comfort them.
It couldn't hurt.
With alligator, huh? I need a comforter to guide my way. I need a comforter. They need alligator comforters. Well, they're that weak that the U.S. Supreme Court overturned affirmative action and others, and they are tripping, and they're supposed to be in law school? Would you want that kind of lawyer to work for you? They need a comforter. And the liberal media always call it controversial when something reasonable, when there is something reasonable. And if you notice, when it's evil, they never call it controversial. So be better with your money. A former New York State, according to Fox, a former New York State Democrat senator took to social media Friday to discuss the pricey student loans she had amidst during law school, despite purchasing a $1.14 million home last summer. Watch this from Fox and Twitter.
This is from Alessandra Biaggi on Twitter. In 2012, I graduated from Fordham Law School with $180,000 is student loan debt. I've been paying loans for 11 years, even paid 2 of them off completely. In 2023, my balance is $206,000.
Amazing. You gotta be crazy to pay that kind of money to go to a dumb college anyway. But this woman purchased a $1.14 million home last summer, according to Fox. And she wants you to pay off her student loan. And she took to Twitter. Isn't that amazing? See what you're doing to the young folk? I don't know, she seems kind of old, but what a mess. They want your tax dollars. Why they made her sell the house and pay her loan? Amazing. I want to show you this, and then I'll take some more calls and super chats. After seeing this, I want to know if you still want affirmative action, or are you glad it's gone, as I am. The courts, the high court showed love to America and to Black America by overturning this. And just know, any black that is complaining about overturning affirmative action, they'll tell you that they're weak and a coward and they're dumb. They're saying out loud to you that they're dumb. This is from the Atlantic. I want to know, once you see this, if you still want affirmative action. The Atlantic. On March 24, 2014, 2 Towson University students became the first African American women to win a national college debate tournament. Watch this from Fox.
There's no arguing it. Towson University's debate team wins, claiming an historic win. They are the first all-black women's team to win the Cross-Examination Debate Association's national championship. This morning, we have 2 of the team members here. We have Amina Ruffin and Corey Johnson, both here to talk about the major victory. Ladies.
The topic was restricting presidential war powers authority.
They said is always already queer. That's exactly the point. It means that the impact is not, that is an impact turn to the that it is a case turn to the affirmative because
we got the topic in about July, and we started doing our research then.
Figured lynching trauma enough. The inside the trauma representation is back to the black child devouring and identifying with the stories and images the white culture brought up. It says that the way that the status quo works is through whiteness allowing, forcing other bodies to tell narrations of whiteness and the violences that whiteness does. Reading of articles and books, and we are not allowed to read. We are not allowed to read certain things or speak in a certain way because we are seen as not truly speaking. It is a question of who even wrote this.
But yeah, it was a very unique argument from the University of Oklahoma.
Before death is eternity, after death is eternity. There is no death, there's only eternity. And I be riding the wings of eternity like, yeah, yeah, yeah. She clack, clack. But see, my flight doesn't go undisturbed because time makes dreams deferred.
2014 exceeded national champions on a 7-4 decision.
They didn't win. The judges said, you know what, after all that mess, just to get it over with and get y'all out of here, y'all winner. That ain't rapping, black people. That ain't rap. That ain't debating. That's a mess. The judge is like, I imagine, we'll give y'all the trophy if you promise to stop talking. We have no idea what you're saying with your fro. See, black people, they don't love you when they treat you that way. They let you get away with thinking that you were debating. No one else thought that was a real debate. And they on Fox News, they're so proud. They're so proud. That's kind of sad. That is not debating, black people. That is affirmative action debating. It requires nothing but loud, fake emotions. Hooping and hollering and carrying on about nothing. Black excellence. Black excellence. Thank God they got rid of affirmative action. Blacks, what you don't know, prior to the civil rights movement, which was the worst thing that ever happened to America and to the blacks, black people were doing very well in America. They loved America. They celebrate the 4th of July. They loved it. They did their own thing, their own businesses, their own home, their own land. They were professionals. They did it. They had to. And it brought the best out of them. And that's what the Supreme Court is showing you now. We love you. We want to bring the best out of you and not continue to let the world use you and keep you down, psychologically and emotionally. One quick other affirmative action another affirmative action reaction to this. This from Outkick. Just one day after the Supreme Court ruled on affirmative action, WNBA's Natasha Cloud went on Twitter tirade Friday about her disdain for the United States. Cloud claimed that as a black woman, she has been waiting for equality, opportunity, and safety her whole life. Watch this from Twitter.
Our country is trash in so many ways, and instead of using our resources to make it better, we continue to oppress marginalized groups that we have targeted since the beginning of times. Natasha Cloud on Twitter.
Her whole life. Amazing. Affirmative action, giving you affirmative action is oppression and the lack of opportunity. Taking away affirmative action is freedom and mamma mia opportunity, except that it's in your hand. And that's even better. That's better. It's in your hand. Amazing. What a mess, huh? So when you hear these blacks complaining that they have taken an affirmative action away from them, they'll tell you out loud they're not capable. They believe in the white supremacy. They trust the white supremacy to take care of them. Kel is a first-time caller out of Michigan. Kel, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, Jesse. Thank you for taking my call. I do appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
I want to just get on the air, touch with you on a couple things. First and foremost, I want to say really think you're an inspirational guy. I appreciate your story, moving to L.A. and starting a business like you did and everything. I wanted to call and talk to you about a girl that I was seeing up until yesterday. I live in Dearborn. She lives in West Detroit. I went out there and she, things never started getting too bad until I started talking about the 4th of July, and she said that it was a racist holiday. And, my father, he's a Amerasian, grew up with a military background and whatnot. And, I wouldn't say that I got into an argument with it about her, but, we went on and I ended up just walking out on her. And, we've been dating for a while. And after this happened, I came home, got on YouTube, seen you up, and a question came to me, and it was, how do you see the future of the races, blacks and whites and whatever it may be in America? How do you see our future, being as smart as you are,
When you say, how do you see it between the blacks and the whites?
Yeah. It just seems that blacks are very anti-white nowadays,
Are you white or black?
I'm, my father's, he's Asian and black. He's Amerasian.
Oh, okay.
My mother's white.
Your mother's white. My hopes, Kel, I don't know what's going to happen because I don't know the future, but my hopes is that somehow or another the country, that included all races, start telling black people the truth and showing them love, and by being honest with them but not judging them, so that they can do what the Supreme Court did, make them start taking care of themselves. Otherwise, it's just going to get worse between the races in America, because white people are starting to get fed up with doing everything the blacks have asked them to do, and the blacks are still complaining. And so I just don't want there to be a race war between the races, because if there is a race war, then the government is going to lock everybody down. They're going to take away your freedom of speech, the Second Amendment, all your rights, and control you. And that's why they want the blacks and the whites fighting amongst themselves, because they want control. I hope we don't get to that point.
I hope so too. I did love dating a black woman and whatnot, but the passion and everything was there. But once I seen the angry side, that hateful side that I've heard you talk about and I've seen in the videos and stuff, it really turned me off from being able to have any kind of intimate relationship when they dog out, or when she dogged out, any type of, cultural that I feel that I kind of do have,
Well, be glad to see it. And that you saw it before you made a baby with her, before you got married to her, or any of those things. And then you just walk away from it, wish her well, and you go on and live your life. And one day, if it meant for you, or you want to get married, have a family, the right woman will be put in your life. It will happen naturally.
Yeah, and see, that's what I want at this point in life too, Jesse.
Yeah.
God bless you for the advice.
Yeah,
love hearing your voice every day, man.
Thank you. Just work on you and let God add to your life. It'll be amazing, man. Whatever will be, will be. It'll be fine.
Thank you, Jesse. I appreciate it.
All right, buddy. Amazing. Be willing to move on. And men, when you date, and on the very first date, and don't spend a lot of money, if any at all, but definitely don't spend a lot. Ask the woman, are you willing to obey me? Write it down on your hand, on your palm, in the palm of your hand or somewhere, so you remember. Are you willing to obey me? And if she says no, get up and walk away. Say bye. Okay, thank you. Bye. And leave your portion of the bill on the table and go your way. Because if you go take it any further, you're going to marry or get involved with hell. And you will regret it. Richard is out of California. Richard, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Oh, hi, Jesse. Have a little patience. I'm white and I'm slow. But I called you about a month ago. I was married to a black woman for 45 years before she passed. And I spent most of my adult life. It was a preacher in a black church. And I spent my time, more of it in the black community than the white. And but what I wanted to talk about was when I went to college, I took a black psychology course. And this is during the time in the middle 70s when affirmative action was really they were trying to sell it. And so what the teacher did was he gave a test. And the test was supposed to be to show you that most tests are biased against blacks. So he had made up one that did a lot of terms that blacks only used. And so to show the whites that, there is a difference. Well, the problem was I scored the highest in the class. I scored 98%. And so the teacher, somebody asked him, hey, he's white and he scored higher than anybody. And the teacher said, it's because he's married to a black woman and spends all his time in the black community and the church, which is true, but the questions weren't that hard. Let me give you a couple of them that were kind of simple. Yes, what is CPT? Which a lot of blacks didn't even know in the class. And what is a church bird? Well, I knew the church bird was chicken and colored people time because our pastor was always saying that to people when they came late to church. So I knew a lot of that stuff. So, he said, well, just because someone asked him, well, how long is this supposed to last, affirmative action? Why should we give, blacks a special court? He said, because it's going to, in about 5 to 10 years, it'll iron itself out and we won't need affirmative action anymore. This is the selling point because people will see that we were right and then the cream will come to the top. But the problem was it's still going on and it's worse than it ever was.
Yeah.
It's just like when sugar prices went way up and candy bars were, at that time a dime a bar and they went up to 40 and 50 cents. And they said, well, once sugar prices come down, the price of the candy bar come down. Guess what? It never comes down.
Yeah.
Once it goes up, it stays up.
Yeah.
It's not going to come
sure.
down. It's the same thing. So, it won't. He says because we're going to level the playing field. We'll take 5 to 10 years to level it to give everybody a chance, and they'll be able to see, and then we'll go to a society where we won't need affirmative action anymore.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask this question. It was kind of tied into the one the previous caller did. All right, if they wouldn't have had the civil rights leaders, because I remember I was young. I'm 79 now, and I grew up in a time when we all went to school together, and things were and I didn't know anything about all this blacks, and nobody else did. We all got along. We were fair. Blacks were with intelligent people. Whites were intelligent. We got along.
Yeah.
Sure, there's a little animosity in certain people, but things like that, just could happen. And so the level playing field is still going on. How long does it take? Do you think? Or let me ask you this other question: what would have happened if the civil rights leaders hadn't taken over and blacks were on there like they did during Jim Crow and stuff? Would it eventually just left alone? Would it eventually blacks and whites come together and wouldn't have had all this animosity? So would it be different?
Hold on, Richard. Let me take a quick break and I'll respond to that. Hold on, buddy. Let me take a break. Back in a moment. I noticed after a while that when these guys overcome their anger, they have amazing ideas about starting a business, but because they've been told that if you don't get a loan from the bank, or if you don't have a 5-year plan, or if you don't do this, and it's just simply not true, it's the first step. With faith, then all things are possible. So, but the most important thing is to return to the Father. That yearning that you have, that emptiness, that void, is not for more stuff. It's not for more friends. It is a return to the Father, because there's no way you can return to God and be angry at your earthly father. So thank you all so much, right? People around the world donated to Bond at rebuildingtheman.com, or they call 800-411-2663, and we're still committed to pointing the right way for men and women to return to the Father. The Hake report is coming up at the top of this hour. TheHakeReport.com. And at 12 noon, Hake is from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. And at 12 noon, the American Ankle Baby is coming up. The American Ankle Baby at 12 noon Pacific time. All right. And this Thursday, the Men Forum at 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific time. If the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise, the first Thursday of every month. And don't forget, we don't use WhatsApp. We don't use that, so there's fake stuff going on around it that has nothing to do with us. And concerning white history or anything, we do not use WhatsApp. It's phony. Somebody doing this. Some no good person. What the? To the super chatter to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to JesseLeePeterson.live, JesseLeePeterson.live, buymeacoffee.com/JLP talk, buymeacoffee.com/JLP talk. Let me go quickly back. Oh, yeah, the treasure chest is now open on D-Live. I forgot to mention that at the bottom of the break there. Let me go quickly back to Richard. Richard was married to a black woman. She's now dead. She dead. Richard was a preacher. He hung out with the blacks. He 79 years old. He knew about how things were prior to all the other mess. So Richard wanted to know, had the civil rights movement not happened, what do I think would have happened to the blacks? Richard, I have no doubt. Are you still there, Richard?
Yeah, I'm here.
I have no doubt that the black would be most, not all, because all people are not going to do well by themselves anyway, but most blacks would have done what the Jews did. They would have worked for themselves. They would have continued to build their own schools and homes, and they would have been married with children, some. They would not be blaming all white people for their downfall and the like of. They would be more independent. They would be free today.
Okay, yeah. I believe that also, that because we all got along. I mean, we had disputes among people, but that's people dispute with other people. We got along in the projects. We were friends. We had a paper route together, and everything was the same. But then all of a sudden, I wouldn't have really noticed the change if I hadn't started listening to you. And I said, you're right, because I don't know what had happened.
Yeah. The black.
Why so much? Yeah, go ahead.
The worst thing that happened to the blacks was the civil rights movement. If that had not happened, it would be a totally different country today. It would be great. because there would be all this phony race stuff and all that. And you're going to always have people who are of the devil, their daddy the devil, so they're going to be fighting, but it wouldn't be majority, and it wouldn't be in such condition as in today.
Oh, okay, because being white and among blacks, I never really was made to feel guilty because I was considered one of the good ones. And so people, I was even called, I was called a wigger. Wigger is a white N-word. So a black called me that. He said, "You're nothing but a wigger," and I called him a blonky, which is a black honky. And he got mad at me, for saying that.
Richard, but how did you get so your wife died, right?
Yes.
So once you went black and after your wife died, did you go white?
No.
You didn't go back?
Got my dog. No, I'm just in between. I don't favor one or the other. I just because you're my friend. If you're black, you're my friend. If you're white, you're my friend. And that's basically the way I always thought.
That's how it used to be, Richard.
Labels on me,
Yeah, that's how it was in the good old days.
Yeah, but even as we moved into the civil rights blacks and stuff, they used to, one guy would say, "Well, how come he's the way he is?" And about blacks saying, "It's because he ain't nothing but a in himself." So I said, "Well, whatever."
That's right.
I'm not, but I don't argue with people. I just try to get along with everybody. And right now, I stay in the community it's a mixed community, and my daughter stays with me, and my daughter is black. But all that race stuff, every once in a while you see people in front of Walmart and stuff trying to get you signed a petition for Black Lives Matter, and I told them I don't take on that nonsense.
Nice.
I don't want to talk about it. So,
Richard, I got to run, but thank you for your call, man. It was deep. I do appreciate it, and you're right. If we didn't have the so-called stupid civil rights movement, it would be a much better country for it today.
Okay, thank you, Jesse.
All right, buddy. Call me again.
I will.
All right. I want to, bye, Richard. Happy 4th. I want to know if you still want to send your children to the public school system after this. This is from Slate News. New data from New Jersey's public school system show that a 4,000% increase in students who self-identify as non-binary. 4,000% increase in students who self-identify as a non-binary. During the 2019 to 2020 school year, 16 students identified as non-binary. Only 16. The figure has increased to 675 students identified as a so-called non-binary for 2022 and 2023. You still want to send your children to a public school? They're teaching them everything but reading, writing, and arithmetic. This is evil, folks. Pure evil. This is from Fox. Eric Adams, the so-called Black Mayor of New York, was roasted. Eric Adams was roasted for requiring schools to implement mindful breathing exercises while students are struggling academically. Watch this from Fox and CBS.
New York City Public Schools will soon have to offer mindful breathing practices to students. The breathing is designed to improve the students' mental health.
Now, the mayor and chancellor were here this morning, and they said starting in the fall, students right from kindergarten through grade 12, right, they're all going to be practicing at least 3 to 5 minutes of mindful breathing each day.
2 to 5 minutes is a game changer in your physiology on how to move forward. Instead of having bullets, we will have breath.
You breathe in through your nose and exhale through your mouth with a whisper.
Okay, breathe in through your nose, Chris. Exhale with a whisper. And why is this so important?
It helps you be more calm and relaxed.
So take us through the exercise. What have teachers been showing you?
We be doing breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. And now we gonna begin. Sometimes my brothers argue with me, and instead of arguing with them back, I walk away, ignore them, and just breathe.
They also have gardens here. It's about being zenful, learning how to plant, and also we've got some yoga demonstrations. The mayor says this is beyond just the breath work, so we're going to get up and we're going to end on a mindful yoga pose here. So Chris, this is the warrior pose, right? See you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.
Woosah.
That would be fine if they didn't go into the classroom and teach them non-binary and then racial justice and all that mess they're teaching them. They have that quiet time, but teach them reading, writing, arithmetic instead of critical race theory and all that mess. I want to give you an example of a mother who called my show the other day, and she's making a sacrifice for her daughter. She's black, and she's doing what every mother would do if they love their children. If they love their children. And she made the sacrifice. She's homeschooling her kid. And it was an amazing call last Friday, or call last week, about homeschooling. Watch this, or listen to this. Oh, blacks, y'all need help. Y'all need affirmative action. You want us to come on in and cut your grass? Oh, you don't own any grass? You ain't got no house. And the men are worse than the women in begging. As a matter of fact, the black men are leading the way in begging and blaming and crying and moping and sitting around waiting for the white man. Kaya, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
I was thinking about my own family because, I'm black. She black.
She black.
And, my dad and my uncle, they didn't go to college. My grandfather didn't go to college. My mom's father didn't go to college. My parents, although they didn't go to college, they still had careers. They still worked.
Yeah.
They still live just fine. One last thing, if you don't mind, real quick,
Yes.
I just wanted to update you on my daughter in the homeschool.
Oh, yes.
So I did pull her out of school last November. She never went back after Thanksgiving break. And then I was able to find a curriculum that I just pay for every month, and she does a self-paced learning thing. She's not really upset about it, but that's what we're doing, and nobody's telling me how to do it or what laws I need to follow. I'm just doing my thing, and when it's time for her to graduate, she's going to graduate, and that's it.
You are you're better than the average black man. You're doing it
I ain't nothing,
yourself.
Jesse.
You're doing it yourself. That's amazing. I'm glad to hear that.
No excuses to these black people now. Excuse.
You
Take
have
your kids
made
out of the schools.
You have made my weekend. You're a perfect example of when a person takes control of their own life, there's nothing to stop them.
Yeah, but you do have to sacrifice. I've sacrificed 3/4 of my income. I don't work as much anymore, but God is taking care of me. All my needs are met.
See, you can do it, black people. That's a black woman. And why how the black man gonna be whining? Jesse, why the white man won't let us in? Amazing. It can be done, black people. Do what Kaya's done. Take control of your own life. Love your children enough to make the sacrifice. It ain't just about you. And the world don't love you. They're using you. Super chat. Let's finish the super chat there and get back to the phones. I gotta finish some more of the super chats. What the? Oh, amazing.
Indeed. Over on, there's still lots of church super chats to get to.
What's the world's greatest grandpa?
Probably everybody, because this seems like a mass-produced shirt to me.
Are you a grandpa?
I'm wearing a T-shirt that says "World's Greatest Grandpa #1."
Are you a grandpa?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Speaking in faith.
Amazing. Super chat.
So this is Stolen Valor. Ryan H.U. with a super chat, no message. Thank you, man. Joe. Oh, say thank you, Jesse.
Oh, thank you, Ryan H.U. I was reading something. What the?
Okay.
Thank you, Ryan H.U.
Jojo Dogman says, thanks, Bond HWHM. That's Happy White History Month.
Happy White History Month. July just feels white.
Sion says, light foot, flat foot, 30-foot wall. Nice.
Oh, the wall going up. Thank you, Sion.
With some feet emojis, a brick wall emoji, and a surprise face emoji.
Thank you, Sion.
C-Sal's been a Bond channel supporter for 9 months. Happy White History Month, church. Celebration blow thing emoji. Thank God for us Caucasians. Heart emoji, strong arm emoji.
Thank you.
Elise Aurelian, I'm perhaps butchering it, says, I'm 27, moving out of my parents' house. I have a lot of work to do since I started listening to you. 1.5 years. God helped me a lot. Thank you.
Right on. Amazing. I wish you well. Stay in the present and do what's in front of you. Stay away from anger and thoughts. Amazing. Thank you.
Lord Bibby42, been a Bond channel supporter for 12 months. That's like a year.
Amazing. Lord Bibby42.
He says, July just feels white. Happy White History Month and happy birthday, Hake.
Happy White History Month and happy birthday, Hake. Oh, your birthday is this month. The real one.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Hope I get there. Evgeny Crosby and beyond. We'll see. Maybe I shouldn't get ahead of myself. Evgeny Crosby says, Jesse, I'm so far right, I've gone off the edge. Thank you.
That's right. Thank you.
Vicky over on Facebook says, all of my family members hate me now, and it's crazy to see that they never loved me. I am more at peace with it. My eyes are open now. Thanks, Jesse. Amazing.
Amazing. And so many people who are waking up, hopefully some of you heard Gil's call. When you wake up, you're coming out of illusion. And the illusion is you think that you love people and people love you, and they don't. It's all about self. All ego is about self. It's never about the other person. Amazing. Stay with it. Thank you.
She continues, being free from this world is amazing. Jesus came to divide.
That's right. He came to divide, not to unite. What the? Thank you.
J-Rock on Bond YouTube channel, the message. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Piotr Robel, been a Bond channel supporter for 13 months. Beat out Lord Bibby. Says, thank you, Jesse. Thank the quote-unquote team. And thanks to the chat. Thank to Bond. Amazing fellowship.
Amazing. Thank you.
Clear Voice 1000. Thanks for all you do, Bond family. Thank you, man.
Thank you. Amazing.
Or woman. Next phase with that doggy thing, that Asian doggy thing, saying bravo with stars.
Who let the dogs out?
Holding his face.
Thank you.
Saw Eastwind Pokaren says amazing with a extremely generous donation. Thank you, man.
Amazing. Thank you.
Nicole92 says, my ego death feels like an uneasy emptying of all that I've identified with, but it's peaceful and freeing at the same time.
Let go of all identities, all ideas, all of your little plans so you can live. And it's going to be amazing. Thank you.
Stray Too Strong asks on YouTube.
Ask.
Can someone help me answer how to deal with enemies? People who provoke me without using violence? Thank you. Thanks, emoji.
Overcome the anger and thoughts, and you will win the war. You cannot be provoked. Thank you.
User JZ6PN8EZ5C says, Jesse, you're a great man. And she didn't put apostrophe R-E. I wish my husband was more like you. Anyway, I'm making a change for the better in my life. Clean and sober, and it's been an incredibly difficult time. Been over 7 days, and I'm still struggling so hard with depression and anxiety. Can you offer any advice?
Yeah, don't struggle with it. It's not you. It's evil. Those are evil spirits inside of you. Go forgive your mama. Go forgive your daddy. Don't resentment for yourself or anyone. Do the silent prayer, www.silentprayer, and let go. Let go of all thoughts. And don't fight with it. It's spiritual. Let the light of God fight the battle for you. You just observe. All right? Amazing. Thank you.
And we're finally to the super chats for today. From today, Birdie Brown Birdie Bound Brian says, God tells us to beware, not to run in fear.
That's right, to watch and let it happen.
He says, before that, he said, I realize that the opposite of being bothered is to be entertained. And in order to be entertained, you cannot have a way you think things should go, or to not care, which is a split infinitive, to what happens either way. It's the separation that allows God to allow you to see.
Thank you. Amazing.
Nice. Mav Angel gave a Ninja Guinea on D-Live. Amazing, he says.
Amazing. Thank you.
Wrinklehands Bing Bong gave a diamond. Why does Hake's shirt say world's greatest grandpa?
That's what I just asked. Ask.
I like the shirt.
It was just a nice shirt he liked.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That's all.
It's nice.
Right. Thanks. Henry Ford Lives gave a diamond saying, it's White History Month. Don't let the small hats know. And I think he might have predicted that I would disavow it. And sure enough, I do disavow it.
Whatever that is. Thank you.
Yes, we let them know. Well, maybe. Before they shut it down. God Shaves gave a diamond. I think polo shirts are the best we're getting, he says.
Amazing. Thank you.
Lord BB42 says, shout out to my main man Hassan for never smoking pot. That's amazing.
That sure is.
Way to not fall, which is a split infinitive, under peer pressure. But he didn't say nothing about no edibles. Let's go. Nick, where them brownies at, boy? God bless.
I wonder if Hassan's dog smoked pot.
Yeah. And I also disavow this super chat that he said.
Thank you.
But anyway, Nadia C619 says, I saw you getting down, Jesse. May I have this dance?
Let's dance. Let's dance. Yes. Thank you.
Mav Angel gave a diamond saying, Diamond Raid! And gave another 2 diamonds, another 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 diamonds, and another diamond saying, Jesse is amazing.
Amazing. Thank you.
Soul Conscious on Streamlabs, JCLeePeterson.live. Jesse, thank you for church, and happy White History Month.
Happy White History Month, and you're welcome. Check out church if you haven't seen it already, or just want to see it again. rebuildingtheman.com/church. You can podcast. Thank you.
Star Peterson bought a coffee on buymeacoffee.com/Jesse Lee Peterson saying, OMG, Jesse! Laughing face sideways emoji with tears coming out. LOL, lots of laughs. You said the portion of the bill was funny and mean. LOL, laughing out loud. But I obey you, so I'm not going to pay. So you going to pay the whole bill and some more for the rest of your life. 3 laughing face emojis with tears. LOL.
Nice. Thank you.
And thank you, guys. I think that's about it for now.
Amazing. Thank you all.
Oh, there's one on Rumble.
You got to know how to rumble.
My
Thank
bag. Gil Co. on Rumble says, biblical answer.
Why do so many people commit suicide?
They don't know the devil has hidden the other way to turn off the emotional feelings. Switch off.
Amazing. Thank you. I'll put my 2 cents in on Sunday if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise. Thank you.
And now, thank you, guys. That's all for now.
Amazing. Thank you all. The Hake Report coming up right after my show. Let me go to James out of Maryland. James, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Jesse, I love you. I love your message. Letting go of anger is one of the most important things in my life. Got me a lot closer than I ever thought I was by reading the Bible. But by reading the Bible, one of the secrets is the key of David is that Jesus is God. And it's okay with me that a lot of people think that when they read the Bible, and I don't want to make a yay or nay on that. I like to be on the fence. How about you?
I don't quite understand what you mean by the key of David and all that. And yeah. I understand that a lot of people believe it because they've been taught that Jesus is God. But I can clearly see that Jesus is the Son of the Father. There's the Father, there's the Son, and there is the teacher, the Holy Spirit. But I understand a lot of people taught that, and they want, it's hard for them not to believe it. So hopefully you'll see it clearer as time goes. James, I got to take my time is up. Call me again, all right?
Yeah. Thanks for taking my call, Jesse.
Yes, sir, Bertie. I am out of time. The Hake Report coming up. Become your own man. Become your own woman. Forgive. Forgive your mama and your father. Return to your father. Become an individual. You still hang out with folks and all that kind of stuff, but all identities would disappear. Antonia, first time call out of Boston. Edgar out of California. Mark, a first time call out of Arizona. Kaya out of North Carolina. And other call. I'm out of time. But I'll be back country and western Tuesday tomorrow, the 4th of July tomorrow. And we'll be here live tomorrow if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise. The Hake Report coming up now at 12 noon. American Anchor Baby. Happy White History Month and happy 4th of July. Take care, folks. Thank you, Super Chatters and all. Have a good one.
Check. I had to get on the track one time. Joel Friday here. Check. Look, stand up. Stand up, we got fighting to do. We gotta show him who boss. He put a Viking in you. He put that lightning in you. Igniting the truth. But you beg and blame and lie and hate and never wanna stand for the truth. So what you planning to do? You understand in the lose. You better go talk to your mama. Better stop at the drama. Better drop all the trauma. Boy, you better stand up and up. Put your hand up and hut. Cause if we don't, then we lose. And then we gotta hear the fake news. Whoa.
Know thyself so you can something went wrong, but face the truth about yourself and just seek first God's kingdom, cause you must know thyself so you can something went wrong, but face the truth about yourself and just seek first God's kingdom, cause I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way.
So, here's what I recommend. I invite you to download my silent prayer, and I want you to start doing it. You just download it, get the points of how to do it, and then after a while, you just do it on your own. It's going to point you in the right direction that your life will be returned to you from God. He will give you your life back because anyone and all people who has anger, they're not themselves. You are the person that you are angry at. That's why it's so important to get to know yourself so that you can see who you're angry at. And if you're doing the hooping and hollering prayers and things like that, some people get up, oh, praise the Lord, hoop and holler, bless my mama, bless my daddy. Continue to do it. Do both. You will see if you want to stay with the hooping and hollering or do you want to be still and know God. So my gift to you, no charge, at rebuildingtheman.com/church. Anytime you have situations happening in your life, always be still. Don't overreact. Most of the people that I know, they say, oh, I know Jesus. I love Jesus. I'm an observer. And as soon as something don't go their way, they get mad. I'm like, what the? If you overreact, folks, remember to do that. Don't overreact. And when you get mad, it's your problem. It ain't your wife's problem, your husband's problem, your neighbor, your friend, your preacher, your teacher. It's your problem. Why you think you tick? It didn't go your way or the way you think it should go. Don't have a way you think it should go. Let life just happen. Thoughts make you think that life should go the way you want it to go. And if it doesn't, if someone don't do or say or act the way you think they should act, you hate them. And then you blame them for being mad. It's the darndest thing I ever seen. but it's amazing to see it. So relax.